Welcome to the Hidden Driveway Show. I'm your host, Pastoria, and joining us today is a very special guest, Amu. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am a producer slash artist from Texas. I'm in the collective LYYNXCLUB with some pretty cool people, and yeah, that's about it, I would say.
Nice. Okay, right. To get us started, is there anything that's been in your mind that you'd like to talk about?
I guess I could talk about what happened today. For one of my classes, I've been having to work
I'd like
with
to hear
this
it.
like dance crew, and we have to make this like 8 to 12 minute long like piece that they have to like dance to, and that's
Ew.
been no, it's been cool, it's been fun, but there was a draft for it that was due today in class, and I thought the draft meant like you had to have like all the music for it like written. So
Mm.
like
Do you have to produce the music for it?
yeah, I think I've shown you
Bro,
some of it maybe, but
I think so, yeah.
I hadn't finished it yet
Ages
because
ago,
I had
I think.
like we had me and my friend Ken, he's like Gene Gray's artist name, we had like 8 minutes already done,
Mm.
and there's this last section we wanted to do. So I was up like 2 in the morning doing that, and then when we went to class today, I like people only had like 4 to 5 minutes of it done, and I realized that we did like way more than we needed to. I didn't have to stay up that late.
Bro,
It was also
that
really
actually sucks
scary
so
because
bad.
I forgot like what I had done when I submitted it. So like, I was surprised when I heard what was like playing in class. They like presented it in front of everyone, but it sounded good, I think. So
Good. You think you've done well.
I would.
And like, I mean, the good thing is, I suppose after it means you don't really have that much work to do now. Like it's all done for you, which is the nice thing.
Well, sort of, because the dancers also have to like what the thing is, so they have to
Oh,
like critique it and
when did you
stuff.
find out about that?
We have like a group chat for it, and they hadn't responded to like what me and Ken had sent in like 2 weeks. Like they had critiques, but none of them really made sense. And like I get it because
Oh,
they don't make music, so they don't really know like how to explain what they're trying to say. But like even my professor
yeah,
was like, "This does not like don't do what they're saying." So we're trying to figure that out right now.
yeah. That's kind of annoying though. Yeah. Good luck with that though. Actually, which demo is that actually? Just out of interest.
Oh, which demo? You've heard some of it.
I think I remember it. I can't remember. It had this like really pretty piano, and it was like how you introduced me to Imagiro piano, which is like my favorite VST ever now.
Oh, no, this was.
And I heard it when I was like walking down a road
I think I know what you're talking about, but it's not that.
because it was for an assignment. I know that. And you did like two versions, and the second version was like mind blowing. The first one was like good, but the second one was like, how do you even do this?
Now I'm thinking of a different thing.
I
I
don't know.
just
It
know
was
my friend
ages ago
Sarah
though.
showed me like
So
Imagiro, so I don't remember.
yeah, it's so cool that I love Imagiro. It's like I'm an Imagiro warrior now. Yeah, it's my favorite VST.
Yeah, plus like I've been using Piano 2 now because I was strictly Piano 1, but then you showed me Piano 2, and that one's so much better.
Piano 2 is crazy, and Warped is good, but it's not like I don't think it's on the same level, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Yeah. Okay, so if you're ready for the first question, obviously I met you through Scratch. So for anyone who's unaware, what is Scratch? Would you like to explain?
Well, Scratch was a kids coding website, although what we used it for was not really to make games. Like people make games, and that's how I was first introduced to it. But there was a really big like animation community on there, which is how I met like a lot of people that I still talk to today, like you. Although technically I met you through like you were on Scratch, but I don't think I knew you on
Yeah,
Scratch. It was through like
that was kind of a lie when I
Discord
asked that.
later.
But we're in like two adjacent circles. But like we met because like we were both on Scratch at the same time. And I think we interacted like once. But we're in like similar communities, you know? Yeah. Did we actually interact? Because we met through what did he go about? Bath,
Yeah,
I think.
because Bath invited you
Yeah.
and like early. It was like right when COVID started, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So that brings me on to my next question, actually, as part of that question, because obviously we didn't interact much. But we're in like similar circles. Um, what's your craziest memories from Scratch? Because I remember it was actually like there was so much drama on
Oh,
Scratch.
there's so much. There's so much. I think we talked about some. One thing was I don't know if you knew about this, but LG, fellow Link Club member, pretty
Mm.
cool guy. He faked his own death on Scratch.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, like I think we
What
had
the
to all
hell?
like there was a project he posted where he was like, or I don't even fully remember what it was, but like people were during those projects where people would like sign their name on and remix it to keep signing their name.
Yes. Oh, I remember
There
that.
was
I
one
did
of those
so
for him
many of
about
those. Or
him
like add your
dying
own
that he
character.
had posted or something. I remember that.
Like add your own name to
To his like memorial or
what?
something like that.
That's really sad, actually. I don't know what I'd like do as like a 9-year-old in that situation.
Well, I don't.
That's really evil.
Maybe it wasn't him dying, but it was something bad happening to him. But there was that. I think one thing was
Damn.
like I was really into like the animation team, which was just like there weren't that many scratch cards now that I think about it. Like that was always like the big one to me, and it
Hmm.
had people in it
Who's in that again?
like Awesome Games TV. I know Pause
Oh
Pause was in
yeah.
it. Pause Pause was Fat Kid Player. Like
Yeah.
Puffin, and like a bunch of other people.
Damn.
But
I remember Puffin actually. No, I remember all these people. It's like coming back to me
yeah,
right
no,
now.
I stole Puffin's Roblox username for like my 2016 Roblox account, but I don't use it anymore because I feel like guilty about it. But they had
That's
this
kind of
like
evil.
join competition that I really wanted to get into. And I was watching back my
Mhm.
submission recently, and it was not very good. So I get why they didn't pick me, but I was like
Mhm.
really upset at the time. And then like a little after the results came out, like they posted this like fighting game demo that they've been working on that was like super buggy and it didn't work at all. And I was like, hey guys, I know I'm not in the group, but like, can I please work on the game with y'all? And I was like in fifth grade at the time. And these messages are all like still up today. So they're probably like a decade old at this point. But it was just like probably a good like 20 messages of separate messages of me like begging them to like let me work on their game. I was even like, guys, I like made my own remix of it. I'm like trying to fix it. It's like I don't know what I was doing. But
Bro,
that
that's really like I don't know what the word is. No, I know what the word is. Like because I had that on Newgrounds in like 2021. Like someone was doing the same thing because I made obviously I did the soundtrack for that game with Trick with a Twist and then XZ Cadence. I did the soundtrack for it. And there was
it was
this
like
kid who was
Pico
like
Untamed, right?
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he we won like I won like £50 for it. It was brilliant. And like so I was working on that and there was this kid who played it who was like I think like maybe 10 or something. He was like, can I join the team? It's like we're not making another game. And also no. And it was like every post and stuff and like every soundtrack that I released that it was like I had to say like no bro, I'm sorry. But what's that? Parasocial is the word. But yeah, good
Yeah.
memories. As well, I believe you met Diversify through Scratch.
I did, yeah, when he went by Sauce. And at the time, like I was a big Sauce fan when his projects were actually about sauce, which like to explain what that is, it was like food memes were a big thing on Scratch. So like sauce is
Like
one
the
of them.
FBI kind of food. Like with the jelly with the arms and legs and like
Not even
eyes and
like that. It was
stuff.
like actual food, but like there everyone had their own food account. Like our friend Ian Penny, and Awesome Games TV had a cloud account called Bagel Nuts, and they would make a bunch of projects about like bagel nuts. And like in hindsight, I don't know why it was such a big thing. But, like everyone had their own like food that they were making.
That's so odd. Did you have one? What were you making?
I didn't, but I was gonna bring up the parasocial thing
Missed out.
because do you remember like Awesome Mario Bros?
I think so.
He was in the animation
What
team.
did they do again?
Um, I don't really remember what project he made. If I'm being honest, I just remember seeing him around a lot. But someone made like a Awesome Mario Bros. Junior account, and they kept saying that they were his little brother when they weren't. He was really weirded out by
That's
it,
so creepy.
and like
No, I'll be weirded out by that.
everyone just
Ew.
assumed they were brothers because like obviously. But then it was revealed. Although in hindsight, like I don't know why you'd want to be like your brother's like junior, like for your online presence either. So that was also
Mm.
weird. But he just like inserted himself into the community, and then everyone was like, "Oh, that's weird," and stopped talking to him after.
How long was he there? Like did he just show up and then like it was instantly revealed? Like,
Like a
yeah,
good
I
couple of
don't know this
months, I
guy.
think.
So he waited to tell people
Yeah.
that he has no relation to this guy. That's so like I feel like that's weirder though, kind of. You know? I don't know what I'd do in that situation.
There's just so much like fever dream stuff, like especially with Diversify. Like I got into so many arguments with him on Scratch, so it's weird that I'm still in contact with him now. But there are like
Were you like
multiple
close?
threads of me like just complaining about him, like to his face on there.
Bro. Because when did he turn like evil?
I mean, I'd argue he's always been evil, but I would say after like 2016 or so.
Was he doing the kind of same thing that he does now? Where he was just kind of making slop and then mysteriously spending like tons of money to promote it.
Oh, no money on Scratch, but he would make like edible
Oh
fidget.
yeah,
He would
it's
make like
true.
edible fidget spinner. It would have like the classic like 2016 era like clickbait thumbnail with the super bright colors.
Edible fidget spinner. Like, what does that mean? Like food on each of like the wheels?
No, like you can eat the fidget spinner.
But like a recipe for one, or like
No,
a project called like.
it was a project about edible fidget spinners, but like I don't remember it that well because it wasn't very good. But there was just a lot of projects like that where it would
Yeah.
have like it basically be a YouTube video if it was on Scratch, and it's like that's not what's. I remember like telling him like that's not what Scratch is for. I was trying to be like a righteous like 9-year-old or something.
That's really funny to me actually. Like edible fidget spinners are too far. I never interacted with that kind of sided like community. I was like, I can't remember all the usernames that I used to interact with because a lot of them were like strings of just like random letters and
hmm
numbers in like some
Oh, was it
order.
like the
That like,
CS accounts?
what were they again? That rings a bell, but I don't think
No,
so.
those were accounts people would make for school, and the default name would be like CS and like a bunch of numbers.
I don't think I remember that actually. I did learn to use Scratch because of school, but I don't think I ever like had a CS account. It was always like the offline like 1.4 version,
hmm
which just like to me it looked like really ugly. So I got the website version. I was like, yeah, this is much better. But I don't think I ever interacted with them. There was I just remember KJE.
Oh yeah.
It was like I was big into like his kind of like project and that, and obviously like he had this really distinct art style that I like
Because he
was
had
like
the hair like
subconsciously
that,
copying. It
right?
was like yeah. It was like he had because of that. It meant he had like loads of emojis that were like unique to him, or like not even emojis, like emoticons, like where it's like
hmm
text and that. Like so, I was like, I think I was like really jealous of that kind of creativity, and it was just like kind of on the periphery. Everyone to be included in that. Maybe I was the parasocial kid.
No, I was
It's
definitely like that
scary.
with like the animation team and stuff at the time. I think a like more positive memory though was I was a big fan of the Ultimate Guy O2, which is a very poorly aged username, but like I was a really big fan of her, and we are now like very good friends. And that was like I don't know, I think that's like the earliest memory of me like getting to like meet one of my idols. I guess although it's weird when it's like you look up to like another kid making animations, but like
Yeah, that's really cool though, and I feel like it's a big inspiration as well. Scratch. Like obviously you're still in contact with a lot of people that like you either met through Scratch or through like communities like post Scratch, like me, LG, Carter, who makes music under Zorion, and there's a bigger one that like I just can't remember, which is really embarrassing. Chapters 226.
there you
That's
go.
really embarrassing. Yeah. Obviously him and like a bunch of other artists. Which has been really cool. My like follow question to that would be, how do you think Scratch has like influenced the way that you produce? Which sounds like a really silly question, but I feel like for a lot of kids, Scratch is kind of like the start of people's like creative, continuous journey, even if it's like not music.
hmm
So, are there any things that you feel like you've been doing since you started making art that's carried on now?
I do think one of them is that like I feel like Scratch like made me develop like a grind set or whatever like really early because I would sit there for
Yeah,
like hours and hours and hours and spend all my free time like doing stuff that in hindsight was like super tedious. Like I think people figured out better ways to do it now, but at the time to animate, you would have to like press the flag and watch it play all the way through to see the one thing that you added. And like
yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, so I would
I
spend
remember
like
that actually.
8 hours working on like a 30-second project and stuff. So I feel like it instilled like that kind of
So
like
true.
patience in the creative process in me, but also just like I think in terms of like who I met through Scratch, it's also just like it makes me want to have a sense of community when I'm like doing art. Because with Scratch, like you
Yeah,
had all these
that's a
friends
good answer.
that are all doing their own stuff, and you're like, wow, that's so cool. I want to do that. I constantly be inspired by like what my friends and they were doing. And like it's the
Yeah.
same with music too. Like Carlo or like Higin, as he's known. That's the
Yeah,
artist
yeah.
name. Uh, is like the main reason I got into making music because I saw he made some like chiptune like thing in beatbox, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. And even
I
though I
remember
had no
that.
interest in music at
Yeah.
the time, I just like messed around with it because I was like, oh, that might be well. The timeline on that's not entirely true. I think I made a song on Soundtrap like a year earlier, but like I think seeing Carlo make music was like really what made me want to start.
Yeah. That's really cool, actually. What were you using to make it? Like, what DAW?
Well, it was
Because I know you're a
beatbox
Logic
for a
warrior now.
year, and then it was GarageBand for like 2 years, and then I think on my 15th birthday, I got Logic, cause like I was like I think I've done all I can in GarageBand, and really like I just sucked. That's all it was. But I'm very glad I'm
Yeah.
a Logic user now, cause I don't think I could still be doing GarageBand today.
How different is it? Because like in obviously I use Ableton. In my mind, like the two are completely the same. Because I've never had the patience to work on anything. So how would you explain to? I mean, a lot of people watching this are gonna be FL users, freaks. I think we can both agree that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they want to know the intricacies of Logic and GarageBand. So how are they different?
I don't really remember GarageBand that well, cause I don't think I've touched it in like 4 years probably. Cause I also, oh my god, I didn't know how to use effects on GarageBand either. Like they had them, I would never use them. So I feel like that kind of limits my
Yeah.
scope a lot because I would only use the default MIDI instruments that like GarageBand had. I wouldn't EQ
All of
anything.
the piano and stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't like quantize my drums either. It's like I would
Mm.
play it all in live in one sitting, and like it'd usually be really offbeat because I didn't know how to do drums. So
Yeah.
like I can't really speak on that, but with Logic, compared to like other DAWs, I think I just like how simple the layout is. Cause like I feel like Ableton
Yeah,
is like
I agree with that.
I feel like I get used to
It's
it if I
sensory
use it
overload
enough.
a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
the
just so
time.
much stuff, and then FL is
There's
like
so much going
I see
on.
people having to like wire stuff, and it's like why is that in a DAW? Like that doesn't
I
need to
felt
be
like
there.
to me, FL feels because I was choosing in like 2020, do I want to go FL or Ableton? And in the end, it came down to a sale. But I saw FL and I just thought like this looks really janky. I don't trust this to make like wonderful sounding music. And then of course like in my first year of making stuff, nothing sounded wonderful. It wouldn't have made a difference. But yeah, obviously I know that now that's not the case at all. I think if I could go back, I would have chose FL just because like more people use it. I think it'd be easy to like make music considering I'm just using the same VSTs. But like it's kind of crazy like when going back to the VHS Midnight Style interview to see that he uses FL Studio, which is just crazy to me because he doesn't give FL,
Yeah,
which is like it's really weird. I feel like different people give different like doors, like you feel very Logic to me, which is a good thing. But yeah,
yeah. I think I thought VHS used Ableton because it kind of his music kind of sounds like Blizzard by like Bootleg.
yeah,
So like I just assumed by
and he switched
default.
from FL, right?
Oh, Nick did actually. He started on FL. I forgot about that
Yeah,
during like Bone Eater and stuff.
yeah. I remember Bonita. What's Bonita?
I don't know if I can find it, but if you heard it, you would remember it. Actually, is it on? I want to find it. Is it on his old
Am I
SoundCloud still?
did he release it?
Yeah, it was on his
Was
old
this on his
SoundCloud.
Devek? Because did he switch when he made like magic spells, or was it like for Blizzard?
Wait, oh,
So remember, like
it's
he
still
picked
there.
up
It's still there. It's
Ableton
still
so
there.
quickly,
I think Magic
bro.
Spells was his first Ableton thing, but you'll remember this.
I remember. No, I remember this. I remember this. I remember it. Oh my god, because that was so good as well. I was so inspired by that. He was like, I always felt like he was like 2 steps ahead of me, and like I was always like not competing, but I was just like I want to be like that.
Yeah, no, I remember when
But I don't
Indigo
think
came
I
out.
can.
I thought
He's
that was like the
so
greatest
good.
album ever made.
I think it was awesome. I was thrilled to have made something for it, even if it was like, in my opinion, the worst track on it. It was really cool to just be on it. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna be places. And then he did with Blizzard, and then he's just doing his own thing now. He seems really happy.
Yeah, I look up to Nick a lot just because like he can do like literally he can do anything he wants musically, and he's really good at all of it,
Yeah,
and he's really good at like all the technical stuff
I don't know how
too.
he does
Like
it.
I'm always so
Yeah,
like not envious, because like obviously it's great that they can do that, but it's like it makes me want to aspire to like be better to be able to do something like that.
I think the big thing is he does a music course at like a music university, I think.
Yeah, but even before, though, he was
So like,
always doing like stuff like that, though.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, he like lives and breathes music. It's mental. There was one I remember I don't know if you can find it. But there was like one video he sent of him, like it was snowing and he just had his guitar out and he was just playing like, the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard, just casually like improv. And like, I don't know how he does it. It's mental.
Yeah, I feel like most people probably don't even know like what he does now, because like after Bootleg, like he kind of just like fell off the face of the earth to most people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And like I want to like promote it to as many people as I can, just out of like I love this music and
Hmm.
this is also my friend. But like also I think he kind of want to avoid like the rate your music people flocking to Blizzard because it just seems really annoying. And like I think Bappy's had like the same kind of response to Empty Stomach Wallet and Faith, which is it's so brilliant. But it means like after that you're kind of like people expect you to be in a box, I imagine, and just make the same thing over and over
No,
and
like
always make something that's
digicore
like
artist Bappy.
better.
I kept seeing that.
Yeah, oh, I hate that. I hate that. Like, because what even is Digicore, really?
I feel like it's more of
Because
a
it,
scene,
it
if
just seems so,
anything. Like
yeah.
in hindsight,
It
like
makes me think of Planet Zero, you know?
yeah.
And that's it. Like only Planet Zero and maybe like Liu, and that's it. Like those two things.
No, like I don't know, because I feel like it's so hard to distinguish between like what like digicore is and like plug and B or something. Because like sometimes there's a huge overlap, and like I don't know what makes it like
Yeah.
different.
I don't think anyone does. And like radio music has no clue because it's just like I go on radio music and I just see like people who have no clue about music and they just like they'll have the most audacious review ever. But I think like album of the year is kind of worse a lot of the time, which is like that's a very high bar to surpass and it does it effortlessly. Um, very glad I don't have an account on that.
Yeah, I started on there, and like I think I saw Carter using regular music, and I was like, this just seems so much better. Like I thought the UI was
So much
worse, and
better.
like it kind of is, but I feel like the way everything like functions is so much better.
And it's more social, I think, as well. Like, I mean, I don't use album of the year, but it just always seems like really like it feels more like Discogs in a bad way,
I don't know if I'd agree
you
with
know?
that, because I feel like you're encouraged to like make more reviews on there, because like to make a review, just like blah, 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 hit enter, and that's it. For your music, where it has like
Oh,
the weird like you have to go through like multiple different buttons to like post a review. But like, that's what the comment box is for. So I don't know.
yeah, that's true. I mean, there's so much like admin stuff on radio music as well. I don't know if that's like a thing on like album of the year, but it's just like it's so much faff having to do like anything, and the admins are all like evil,
Oh wait, what's the one? Is
like
it isn't it
really just
Forrest's?
evil.
That's like really evil.
Is that the one that like hang on, when it was a while ago, but I think it was Bappy's whole discography they just wiped off because they were on a song with someone else who'd like call them out in like a really casual diss or something. It was like
Yeah,
you have to be so tapped in to be that like villainous.
yeah. I know
I
I'm
can't imagine
banned
that
from
being
posting
like
images on no. I'm banned from like uploading albums to album of the year, and I don't know why, because I haven't used it in like 4 years. But I was trying to upload, I think, me and Cameron's project on there, and I just couldn't for some reason.
yeah, that's so weird. The moderator's evil on that as well.
I haven't really interacted with them, but it's like I feel like with Rate Your Music, that's like I don't really think it's the case that much anymore, but like that's kind of where Fantano's influence has like a big impact on the ratings sometimes. And then like album of the year is
Oh
like Brad
yeah.
Taste in music, because he's an active user of the website. It's like whatever he does, people
Oh
usually follow.
yeah. I I forgot who Brad Taste in music is, which is really embarrassing.
I was a big
But
fan
also
of
I feel
him
like I'm
at one
free because of
point
that.
from like because he
Yeah.
used to make these like really good like well edited like reaction videos, and those are great. But then he started live streaming all of it instead, and just putting way less effort into the
Yeah.
editing so he can pump up more of them. And it's like I get it, get your bag, but the videos are like way worse now.
I always get like I hear Brad Taste music and I get him confused with that one guy who I Riley React and I keep on seeing him
Oh,
loads a minute for no reason whatsoever. But he was like I just in my mind he's evil. It always shocks me as well, like the kind of like places that I see like he's reviewed something I keep on getting like recommendations and stuff. It'll be like really new stuff that I just imagine he doesn't listen to, like all like digicore. I don't want to go back to that, but like he'll like it'll be like new Jane stuff, and I just don't imagine he like likes that.
I don't know. I feel like he does listen to it. I still can't believe though that like when he listened to Sleepaway, which is a now unlisted video, but like I'd been waiting months for that, and like I love Sleepaway, very big fan of that album. Like that was my summer album. Like when it came out too, like I'd always go and walks to it, and then seeing him just like hate it. And I think wasn't Carmen his favorite
So
track
like
too, which is your least favorite.
I actually really like it now. I don't know what my least favorite is, but I saw that I was just like, okay, man, okay. Um, I didn't trust his like little opinions.
Yeah. Also, I
Because
like
he
how
had no idea
he
what he was talking
shoved it in
about.
with another album like in the same video too.
Yeah, as well. What was with that? Like I feel like he kind of set that up to be like, I already know I'm gonna dislike this, which is so like evil and rude. You don't have to review something if you don't like it, but like setting up like I know I'm gonna hate this, and then doing like a bumper like multi-album video is kind of evil. I don't know. In my mind, he's the worst one. In the music revolution, he's gonna be the first to go, I think. I'm praying on his downfall. Okay, now haters of the channel will say that you've been doing Hidden Driveway for a year. So to humor them, I'd like to ask you, what are some of the weirdest moments in the show's history over the past year that haven't been on video? So has there been anything behind the scenes that fans don't know about that's particularly memorable?
Ooh, I mean, if I were to do Hidden Driveway, I know I did it that one time for the Pastoria interview
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we switched roles that one time.
yeah.
But
That was fun.
yeah, um, there haven't been too many, but like I guess some of it's been like the main one was when I did Kevin Got Swag 3's interview because we had scheduled it like a week prior, and then he just wasn't being like responsive. He told me later because
Yeah,
he was like super like high and he just like couldn't. He wasn't in the state to do it. It's like fair, but like randomly it was like 8 p.m. and I was like about to eat dinner one night. And he told me like, oh, I can do it now. I had to like drop everything to like go record it. So that's one of them.
that was yeah. I mean, like, if you were to do that interview, then it would be one of my favorite ones. Like, I would have really watched it and really enjoyed it. So I'm very glad that in that hypothetical you would have done that.
Yeah, no, I
But
watched
one
yours a
thing I
lot,
remember,
dude. I'm a very big
mm,
fan of the chapter 226 interview. That was a pretty good one.
yeah, that
Uh,
was brilliant. Yeah,
I know you were
I
telling me
remember that a lot.
he got off to leave like several times. It's like a half hour of footage that didn't get used. That's just like him not being in his room.
Bro, I don't think that's ever happened to me. And it hasn't happened to you either. Obviously, but that's really annoying actually.
No, it's not
I think
annoying.
one thing that has happened to me is when I was doing the Dreeks interview, then my I can't remember what happened. It was big though. I told you about it.
Oh yeah, wasn't it like how because I think you fully finished doing the video, right? And then you had a
Yes.
bit of a
Oh yeah,
brain
yeah, yeah, I
fart
did.
and you just
Yeah,
like deleted the file, which is like so stupid.
I
Like
did.
who would do
Yes.
that? What a dumb move.
Yeah, I know. So always back up your files is the lesson there, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
And then I know you were telling me
as
that
well.
there's also some like
Mm,
interviews that never came out either for various reasons.
yes.
Like I
Yeah,
don't
I can't remember who they were.
yeah, I don't know if you'd want me to say who those artists were, but one of them just like requested to have you not upload it. And then I haven't seen anything from them like since that. So I hope they're doing okay because I don't really know what that was. And then this
Yeah,
other artist, I know you found out was just like really weird and not someone that you would want to, promote on your channel.
I think I remember. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, which was really unfortunate
And
because I was a big fan of that artist too, but I'm not rocking with that
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. I know. I only want to interview people that I rock with heavy. You know.
Well, I'm glad to be on here
So
then.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And I would do 1,000 other interviews with you, for fun. I was also going to ask about this hypothetical situation in which you interviewed other people for my channel.
Hmm.
Um, what's generally your favorite memories in this hypothetical that you've been doing it for the past year? What was your favorite interviews actually? is a big one. And there's 52 out, I believe.
53. You're very close. Very close.
Oh, of course, yes, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I knew this. I was just testing
I
you.
think you weren't counting when I did yours. I think that's what that was.
Yeah, true. That's not a real interview in my mind.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of the chapters 2 to 6 interview, especially because like I forgot how to word. Okay, I'm trying to how this part out, but I don't know how to word these because I don't know if I should make it sound like you when you were doing it or if I was doing it.
I think you can just drop it if you want.
I mean, the
Like the bit's going a bit further
yeah
than I was planning.
yeah
That's okay.
yeah because at the time like I hadn't like sat down and talked to Carter in like such a long time.
Yeah.
Cause like me and him will like DM occasionally, but like hopping in a call like that was the first time in like probably
Ages.
a year, like at least, that we like gone to talk, and it was like that was the longest one ever at the time too. So it just felt very like satisfying to do. We got to cover like literally everything, so that was also really nice.
Yeah.
I put the Dreeks one up there too. Although me and them both agree that we think the original one that no one has ever seen was probably better.
Lost media.
Just because like
Yeah.
the questions were all fresh the first time and we had to redo them. It's, unfortunate, but
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
That's fair. It's really long as well. It's like it's something that I can put on, not in the background, but when I'm doing work and stuff, it's always nice to just have it in like a little split screen and just like watch passively while I do other things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like they're very well spoken. And I don't know, they're just a really nice person. And it always makes me smile to like listen back to their interview, even if it's not the original footage. But it's nice and long.
Yeah.
As I've been listening to the Bappy one, like the new Bappy one as well, a lot recently. Just in the background, and it's just like I don't know. There's a lot of moments in that just like I look at them smiling, I look at you smiling, and like all the topics and stuff are all just like it's just nice. So yeah, generally you're a very good interviewer, I think.
Thank
And
you.
a
Yeah,
lot of those
on the
interviews fall, like,
occasion that I
hybrid, like,
do get to do it.
on the occasion, yeah. Yeah.
I like the Dreeks one a lot too, because like sometimes I do the person's interview and then we don't speak ever again, which makes sense because I wasn't talking to them before. We do the
Yeah.
interview and then we don't talk after really.
Yeah.
But that's when we've become like proper like friends, I would say, after, which has been really cool on the occasion it
Yeah.
does happen, because I think this is a cool way to like meet and connect with artists as well, even though the intention was to like promote
Yeah.
people I already knew at the time.
Yeah. I know, because there's a lot of people who contact you now for interviews, which is really cool as well. Because a lot of them, I mean, I believe like Newport Motel, a lot of those interviews tend to be some of the best ones. And it's lovely for me as well because I get to discover a lot of very talented new artists.
Yeah, that one is also a favorite, which the editor of Hidden Driveway needs to go edit that video at
Yeah.
some point.
Me.
But
Yeah,
that'll be out once they work on it.
I actually can't wait.
Yeah.
It must be a huge commitment, though, I imagine. Like, it must take ages as well, because, like, I remember the first few like interviews were maybe just under an hour long, but like now it's rare that you have one that's under an hour long.
Yeah, I haven't had one that's under an hour since I think VH No, I think Ruby Red was the last one that was below an hour, and that was like the 25th interview.
Ages ago as well.
Yeah.
I must take ages though, but they're all so good now. I feel like you've really found your groove with them.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Which is
think
really cool to see.
I think what's happened was the questions got better, because there's some that I watched. Like I was looking at the MayXX one. One of my questions was, "What's your favorite month?" Because her name is MayXX, and I think I put more thought into the
Yeah.
questions now, so they have more to talk about.
Yeah,
And I've also gotten better at just like carrying the conversation sometimes when I need to, because usually
yeah,
I'll just sit here and not say anything if the other person's talking a lot. But on the occasion they aren't as
Yeah.
talkative, I've gotten better at like getting more out of them by asking like
Yeah.
follow-up questions.
I know, because there's a huge variety in terms of like artists that have been like that. Like I remember I mean, I can't really remember that many artists who aren't as talkative. I feel like a lot of people generally like to talk about themselves and what they enjoy doing. But I remember like Ahmed's interview, like it's just crazy because it's just like someone's talking all the time, and it's like it's so high energy, it's brilliant.
Well, that's a favorite for me
Shout out
too,
Ahmed,
actually. Yeah, that
it's
one's
awesome.
awesome. One that I
I
wish
love the
I
bit
could
where it's
have.
like Osglow as well, and he mentions Osglow and like it's a tag now. I
Yeah.
don't know, I just really like it.
Fuck Oscar,
Yeah,
man. That's me
yeah,
quoting, not me stating. I gotta clarify.
yeah. No, all love to Osglow.
All up to Oscar.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna do a split release with them and Roadman as well, and it was gonna be like a full album. But I think it's not a thing anymore. But that was really cool. So
yeah, I
shout out
know
Oscar.
Roman mentioned that in his interview, which is also a favorite because he is so like well
Yeah,
spoken. Like listening to him
yeah,
talk is just so like enjoyable. I think because he's an English major, so he knows how to use his words properly and stuff.
yeah. I know. I don't think I've like finished that one. I think I started it and then like I had something coming up and I just never got
Hmm.
around back to it. But I'm free now, so I really need to like revise Hidden Driveway. I'm gonna be going into my exams at the start of term, like next term, and just like all I'm gonna be able to write down is like this is the Hidden Driveway show. I'm your host, and yeah, but
Yeah.
it's really cool though. I definitely associate Hidden Driveway now with like working on stuff. It gets me productive.
Well, I'm glad that's being used in
It's
that
brilliant.
way because like I never pictured people like sitting down and watching him like intently. Like that was never what I figured after a while.
Yeah,
Well, because I think when I
it's
started, I was trying to
yeah,
make him like backlight videos where they're very like compact,
yeah,
which I like his videos,
yeah.
but I realized like if this is the only thing these people are gonna have, then like I kind of wanna. Well, I never wanted them to be longer, but it just kind of started becoming longer, and I prefer that for like the way that they're done. I think.
That's true. I like them as well because I mean it must be a pain to edit. I would know, but it's always really nice as well to just have it because it feels like a conversation. Like you're there, and you're like listening to like two very real people. I don't know. It's very friendly and it's very open,
Hmm.
even if it is like. I mean, like I think Backlight Noah started doing it like in person now,
Yeah.
but these always feel like way more personal and like it's in the same room, which is really cool. And as well, it definitely feels more personal. And they are actually in the same room. Dalton's interview series,
Oh yeah.
is it Bev's with the Past? I really like that. I've been binging Dalton videos at the minute. Because they're just nice. They're cozy,
Yeah, I've only
which is really
watched
cool.
the Jane one in full, and I think I started the Heartophalian one, which was like the first one he did. But he had the mics panned in different years, and it was like I
I
can't do
remember
it. I
that
can't
actually.
do it.
I can cope with it because it just reminds me of like listening to the Beatles or like
Oh, I think I had the
other
same
bands like
thought
from the 60s.
actually.
I I mean, I love the Beatles, and one of my favorite memories of all time is just going on like a Beatles binge with my friend in the summer, and we just sat down and played like board games for like a few hours, and listened to like every album in like rapid succession, and it was so brilliant. But I was listening on like, a phone, so when I revisit the songs that I really liked, then it's just like, oh, it sounds like that.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
are the like the
I don't know.
new remasters still like that?
I can't remember. I haven't listened to them in quite a while, but it's so annoying. The old ones are like that anyway. Maybe that was just like the rage. I don't know when like
Well,
people really
I don't think
moved
they
from.
had. Did they have? I'm gonna sound so stupid. Did they have stereo mixing back then? Because like,
I was gonna ask that, like I think so,
well, I feel like they're
or like
recording in
I
mono
think
and then putting it in stereo like that is what I'm assuming.
yeah, I think it's probably just when they shifted from like just doing live recordings of whatever's going on to like being in the booth and like individually recording everyone's part with like specific microphones and then mixing that, which like that would have been awful. Like analog mixing with like all the gear and stuff. I just can't ever imagine doing that.
Yeah, I don't even know like
So
where to begin with that. Like, I
I don't know what to
know.
begin with mixing in general anyway, but it must be awful.
Yeah, I know Orange Cake Mix had to do that. That's also a favorite for me. Although I wish I had gone to. I think it had to happen when it did because of how things played out. Because of like memories long forgotten being a thing and stuff. And like, so I'm very
Yeah.
glad we live in that timeline. But I wish I could have gone to do it now that I'm like better at interviewing and also not extremely sick. Because I don't know if you've like looked at that one
Yeah.
recently, but like I did not sound very good in that video.
You say this, but I like they always sound great. Like I never notice.
Well, thank you. I don't know. I get on my own head a lot too. Like I was just telling you something yesterday that was like not a big deal, but to me I was like, ah. So
Yeah. Okay. So your music to me sounds extremely colorful. And your song titles definitely reflect this. So, for example, you have Seeing Red from your joint EP with Cameron Shull, Caamuron Shull, which is excellent. And then Orange Tea off your upcoming album Drillgaze, and also on the pre-show, which is out now, also brilliant. So it may not come as a shock to many viewers to learn that you have synesthesia, which is extremely cool. How would you say this has impacted how you produce and generally life?
okay, well to comment on those two songs, I didn't name either of those songs, so that actually had nothing to do
Really?
with that. No, Noah
Damn.
was the actually Noah sent me the song's called Orange Shirt initially, and then I think I changed it to Orange Tea because I just like didn't
It
realize.
also features Orange, right? Or that might be a different one from Drillgaze.
Wait, are you thinking about Cycle? Is that what you're thinking about?
No, there's one on Drillgaze with Orange, I think. I was gonna ask about Cycle later, but you mentioned it now. But no, there was one, I swear, like because I was doing a discography binge on the bus yesterday, and there was one with Orange, and I was just like, bro, that's so embarrassing, actually.
No, I think you're thinking of Orange Tea, like the song.
I'd swear he was on it, but I'm
No,
just imagining things.
me and
Like,
Orange hadn't worked together ever until the two new Wings Club songs.
really? Seriously?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Is he not on
we
Drillgaze?
no.
What? I just can't believe that because like I just feel like you're very good collaborators. When I saw the not Drillgaze, when I saw the like split release production, it just like you just gelled really well together and like your styles like really fit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so
I'm really
too.
surprised at that actually.
Cause he did like the guitar on By Your Side, but not like the main one. Like there's a little break where like my vocals are like glitching out, which he also we
Yeah.
changed that part because initially it was doing way more, and he thought it sounded like OMFG, so we toned it down a little bit. But he's playing the guitar in that part in that outro, and then like Cycle was like all produced by him. I just do like backing vocals on it.
Yeah. Damn, I'm really annoyed about that I had that conception because I feel like I do ask about the split release later.
We can talk about
No
it. We can
spoilers,
talk about it later.
but we can talk about it later.
But to talk about
Um,
synesthesia, I don't know. Like the way I describe it is like having like a sixth sense almost, where it's like you know how when you smell food, like you just smell, you don't really think about it. It's like that when I hear
yeah,
music, I just like see it, and it's not like a very like clear visual in my head of what it is, but it's like a kind of like how if I said picture an apple, it's kind of like hazy, right? But like you know it's there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
that. Although I don't know, like I feel like when I'm listening to like songs other artists make that aren't mine, like because I don't have their perspective on like the creation process. I always have like a little movie in
Yeah,
my head of like what is happening, and I don't know if other people have that too.
I get that.
But
To be
like
fair.
so like sometimes when I'm on fights, I'll listen to like Frailty, and it's like watching a movie almost.
That's so cool, actually. I don't get that, but I do sometimes imagine like, I feel like they're inspired by this. I kind of see this.
Hmm.
But that's really cool, actually. Um, I don't have it, so this is enlightening knowledge to me. And it's interesting as well that you said like when you mentioned like artists who you don't know what their creative process was and like what their kind of definite intention behind their songs are. Do you feel how would if someone asked you like how do you kind of see with your sixth sense your own music? How would you describe that?
I'm trying to think, because there's definitely stuff I
Or like
see with the songs, but usually it's just like I think because I'm like my perspective is so like focused on like oh I was on my computer doing this that like I see the color
yeah,
of the song and there'll be like a little like image in my head like for no convincing I kind of see people like about to start jumping for some reason like that's always what I see with that song
I
or
get it
like
though because it feels like that.
yeah
Yeah,
or like Orange Tea. Actually, I think a better one would be like Seeing Red. Like I see like
do you
Cameron.
see red?
No, I see green for that song. But I see Cameron in the middle of like a field
Damn.
like spazzing out is like what I always see to that song.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting that like you don't see red for that. Do you always like see a consistent color like for the same project
No,
or
it's for
does
like
it
each
differ?
key. Like
Oh,
each key has a different
like
color.
key.
Yeah, so like E
Damn.
major is like green and like A major is like a dark blue, D major is like a lighter blue. Like F major is
Damn.
like pink.
How do you know as well? Like what key it is?
I think synesthesia and perfect pitch are like kind of linked a little bit because I wouldn't say I have perfect pitch
Oh, of course. Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
know that I don't because all the sharp keys are red to me and they're different shades of red. But like when I hear a sharp key, I'll know that it's a sharp because it's red, but I won't know like which note it is.
That's kind of that's weird, but like in a really cool way actually. I mean, obviously my favorite key is A flat major, but I
Mm-hmm.
just like the way it sounds. Like, do you feel like do you have a favorite key? I'm aware that's quite a sad question, and
No,
if so, is it related at all to the color or the feel of it?
that's not a sad question. I think A major I'm drawn to a lot because it's so like blue and like lush to me. Because I
Yeah.
really I'm not I don't like a lot of the pink keys. Those are all like really boring to me a lot of the time.
What are the pink keys? Is
Like
that like C major,
like
G
C
major?
major. No, G major is like also light blue, but like a little different. Like G major is like a paler version of like D major to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of interesting though, because like D and G are very related, aren't they? Because like G, A, B, C, D, like that's a fifth. So that's weird because like C major, the fifth in that key is G, and then the fifth in G is D, and they're all kind of related and they're all like same. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's also
I never thought of that.
one thing that interests me is that like everyone's synesthesia is like different also. So like I see this stuff
Yeah,
and to me it makes complete sense because that's the association I have. But I've seen other people have like a
yeah,
completely different like thing of what they see, and then it'll make sense because that's like what they know.
yeah.
I've also realized that I have it for like numbers. Also, like if I think of
Oh,
like when you think of a number in your head, like how do you picture the number?
it's kind of weird for me actually because I feel like my brain's a little bit weird with numbers. So like I don't have any like association other than like the symbol for the number,
Mm-hmm.
and I find it really difficult for like alphanumeric strings. So like because I'm using your purity, right? And I recently had to reactivate it because I got like I'm using a different Mac at the minute. But in my mind, I can't remember that string and I can't say it out loud. Otherwise, I get the numbers and the letters like really confused. So like, and as well, like over here, like registration plates, I can't read out. So like I was at what was it? I had to ring up my insurance company for like car insurance, and it's like what's your registration plate? And I couldn't say it because I can't say the numbers in it without like the number in it. I think is 61. I know that's not right. But I don't say like 61. I say like NVSW because like to me those numbers start with those. It's really freaky and it's like different every time. So like I can't I don't imagine numbers.
That's really interesting,
Which is really
actually.
weird as well because I do so much maths as part of my degree as well, and a lot of it's like calculus and algebra where like there's letters and numbers, but I'd see that completely pictorially, which is really weird. No like colors or anything. It's really boring actually for me. I'm kind of jealous now actually.
No, for mine, like
What do you see?
uh, I feel like it depends, but like I think I realized because I was doing the hidden driveway, like because I have to put the number for each one. I realized like there's a number or a
Yeah.
color that shows you all the numbers, and like I've always had this for like years as well. Like if I picture 2022, like that's blue, or like 2023 is like green, and right now 2025 is yellow.
That's kind of good though, surely. Like in my mind, yellow is a good color.
I don't know. To me, it's like a pale yellow though. It's not like a
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. I couldn't give my input on that actually. I don't really imagine it unless it's like related to the events of the year. I mean, do you think like the year and the stuff that happens in it influences the color?
no, because I've always had it.
Like
Like when I was thinking about years in advance, that's how I think of it.
that's really weird.
But I have no idea like
Is
what
it
influences
consistent?
it. Like 47 is like red to me. 39 is like purple. 2024 is also purple,
Bro,
and like there's no reason for it, but like I've always done that.
That's such a different way of living, actually. I'm kind of jealous. Because I know some people have like synesthesia where it's like it'll be they taste numbers or something, and then some numbers taste really horrible. So they just actively like dislike looking at specific, like they won't go down certain roads if they have to see the road
Mhm.
signs for it.
No, I have
Um,
that too, but only for the word timbre. I guess it's like sweet, like taste in my mouth when I say the word timbre.
like a tambourine.
No, like
Oh, like timbre,
yeah,
like the music thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of weird,
Because my
actually.
professor kept saying that
I
word in
don't get that.
class, and I kept like feeling it. I was like, that's weird. But I don't think I have it with any other words other than that.
I don't like the word timbre. Like I can't imagine that being sweet because to me that's like a good thing. I think it's an ugly word. Like
Well,
genre as well. I really don't like the word genre. I think it has something to do with that it's French, but also um why only that word? Would you in your mind like if you heard like any word and you like really thought about it, like you know when you like hear a word and you say it over and over in your head and stuff sounds like really weird.
mhm.
Like can you kind of imagine what a word would taste like if you were to get that?
When,
It's a
when, when
very
you when you
weird
said
question, actually.
genre, like I don't think I have synesthesia with words really, but like I pictured genre as just
Yeah,
like pale green thing that was kind of gross, like you were saying, and
like puke.
it tasted like some like really bad like fried food in my mouth, and I was trying to think about it,
That's kind of
but
gross.
I think I would hate having like taste synesthesia though, because I was looking at like forum posts about it, and like some people avoid like saying or thinking about words because of like how it makes them feel.
Yeah, that I'm kind of glad that I don't have that in that regard. But it's definitely interesting to hear about.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I also have like
and like,
I've been looking into it a bit recently, but like I've always been able to get kind of like lost in my own head. And I think like synesthesia is part of it because there's so much like I can visualize in there. But I think I have like maladaptive daydreaming or something too, where you get like
oh, what's that?
it's like yeah, it's like really vivid daydreams where you get like completely sucked into it, and it's like you almost
Oh
forget like
wow.
what's happening around you, and that happens to me like
Do you
all the
lucid dream
time.
often?
No,
Like kind of related.
surprisingly no, but I remember my dreams pretty well.
My we're gonna be talking about dreams later as well. But one thing that I kind of wanted to point out at some point is that my roommate at the minute, he has never had a dream in his life, and he just can't imagine what it's like. And I think it's a joke, but he's convinced they're not real. He just doesn't. He's never had one, and I can't imagine what that's like
Wait, does he
ever.
have like
He also doesn't have an inner monologue.
that makes more sense. I have a friend in real life that like can't. He has no inner monologue and he can't picture images in his head either.
It's kind of weird for him because like for me, when you're talking about like picturing images in your head before like an apple and stuff, and like people have like different levels of like clarity. If I want to picture something in my head, I can picture it in my head, but I don't always subconsciously do that. But in a monologue, I'm always speaking in my head all the time. Like at the minute, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say, but like if I'm just like on the bus silent or something, I'm always like thinking to myself. He just never has that. And like if he wants to think about something or like in out loud in his head, then he can. But like when he's reading and stuff, he doesn't have an inner monologue, which is crazy to me.
Don't they have to read like out
Where
loud a
do you
little
stand?
bit when they don't have one?
I think so. Well, I don't know actually. He does English, so it's
Hmm.
like he reads a lot of books, but he does it in like complete silence and like he just kind of looks at the page and he was saying like I don't read it to myself in my head, I don't read it out loud. And I don't get how you get any information
He
from
just
that at
processes
all.
it still.
Yeah, like he just looks at the pages and gets it, which is so
Yeah, my
odd.
friend was telling me that like, because when I asked him to like, do you remember this thing? Like he can't picture the thing, but he knows what it is still, and can like call back from that
That's
still, even
really
though he can't
odd.
like see it.
Like an event or like a physical thing.
Like if I ask like both, like he'll know what I'm talking about and be able to describe it, even though he can't like see it in his head.
That's really freaky. I don't know if I like that. It's like kind of related. I was looking into this like a week ago on like a Wikipedia deep dive, but there's a part of our brain, I think, called the optical cortex,
Mm-hmm.
which processes the stuff that you see with your eyes. Like it only processes the information, but it's not the only thing your eyes are connected to. So in people who have had brain damage and they have had that like, bit of their brain damaged, they're blind effectively. But if you like throw a punch in their face or something, they'll dodge it and they don't know why. So they can see, but they can't process any of the information. It's really freaky. It reminded me of that.
There was something else that I learned in psychology too, but I can't think of. Oh, I think it's like the ghost limb thing, where like they still feel like
Oh, like phantom limbs
yeah that like they
and
still
like pain
feel
and
that
stuff.
it's
Some
there,
people have
but
like
even though it's
features and
not.
stuff. Yeah, like amputees and stuff. And some people say like it's chronic pain as well, which sounds awful. But I don't know. I obviously can't imagine that. One thing I can do though, which is like really odd, is like if I want to imagine myself having like an extra limb, I can, and I can imagine like the muscles I would need to like pick it up, and I can like send the signals
Oh yeah,
to where
I
that would
can't too
be.
now I think about it. Yeah, that's weird.
It's really freaky, and like I was doing it for a while. And it's like, ew. I
Dude,
could
like
like I
I
can
could
imagine
picture having an
myself having
arm
like
like right
four
here and
arms.
like how it would work.
Yeah, or I can imagine like if I had like four arms, like two here and then like two there or something. I can imagine like scratching my back with one, or like holding, high fiving myself, which is really creepy. But I don't know. I just think it's like pretty cool that we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about dreams later as well. But yeah, cool
Yeah.
little off topic, I think.
Oh, also one other thing with synesthesia is that I think it makes me like detune music a lot more, which I know a lot of your music is detuned, so that would kind of make
Oh,
sense. But
yes,
it's
it
because it
is.
makes me see colors that I'm like not usually seeing when I listen to stuff. Cause like it's like the typical like you know like the color wheel and how it's so basic and simple.
Yeah,
Like a lot of music I hear is like, oh, it's this thing. I see this. So when it's detuned and it's like not something I'm seeing usually and it sounds different, I'm like drawn to it a lot more
it's like
usually.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. I definitely get that with detuned music. Like I can tell something's off, but I can't always tell it's detuned. But I'm kind of having the thing now where like I've been detuning stuff as like so long that when I like retune it into like 440 hertz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it just sounds weird. Like it sounds like, oh, it sounds detuned, and like I guess it is, but it's not actually, which is really like I don't know, creepy. I remember when I was doing when I went to KGX Pharma in January 10th, I had to retune everything because Virtual DJ doesn't but it doesn't know how to handle detune stuff, and I was having to like retune everything into the original keys. Like that's so weird. That's how it sounds. I mean, as well, kind of related. But also kind of not if you haven't listened to much of it, but like microtonal stuff. What does that feel like?
Oh, there's this one video that
The King Gizzard,
that,
that's
but also
microtonal.
there's
I
this
remember they have
video
the.
that me and Gwen were talking about. Where have you seen that keyboard that's microtonal?
Oh, it's like, and it's got like
Yeah,
hexagons,
yeah,
and like they divide it into like equal divisions of something, but it's not always like. Yes, I know the one you're talking about.
yeah. But it's like listening to that for the first time was like it felt like seeing a new color, if that made sense. Like seeing a color that you had never seen before.
That's, that's so cool, actually. That's really weird though, because like, do you see a new color? What do you
No, but like I don't see a new
experience in that
color.
moment?
I think in my head it's like they're like kind of like tints of like brown. It sounds kind of weird, but like
Oh,
it's like I don't see brown when I
yeah.
listen to music ever. So like I guess in a way it is like a new color.
Oh, just like a new experience. Like if you gave like I don't know, like Baja Blast to a peasant from the Middle Ages, like that kind of thing. That's kind of odd actually. That's really I'm jealous now actually. I wish I hadn't put this up because actually I'm like I want to develop it now like spontaneously. That's actually so cool.
I do know it goes away when you're older though. So obviously
Oh,
like
really?
or like I don't know, like people that have perfect pitch like they lose it after a while, and it kind of messes up how they hear music.
Really?
So I don't know how that'll work with like
Oh,
synesthesia, but I guess we'll see.
that's that's really scary actually. I mean I don't have perfect pitch at all, but like to have like lived your whole life with it and then just to have to default to like a different normal experience must be really awful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't imagine that's nice. So, moving on, as I just mentioned in the last question, you got Drillgaze coming up, which features a huge number of collaborations. Truly mind blowing, and I mean, I've heard a little bit of the final product. It sounds amazing. But yeah, you obviously got Drillgaze, and you worked with quite a few features on your joint EP with Caamuron Shull. I was wondering, it's kind of about both really. What's the experience been like working with other people in general? In this case, I guess Restless and Cameron Shull. I'm interested in both. But obviously, I don't do a lot of like collaborative music. I mostly like just do stuff by myself. So, what's the process like been working on both with the other person? Is what I'm interested in.
So with Restless, who I'm just gonna call Bag, I think, because that's how we know
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
But with
yeah.
Bag, Drillgaze was already an idea that I had been having like myself, and then he made this beat that like was literally what I've been thinking, but I hadn't done it yet. So I kind of just asked him like, "Hey, would you want to do like a whole project of this?" And like we started making beats, and then
Yeah.
originally what we wanted to do was because like this was in early 2023, so like the scene as it exists now was like very different. Like there was no
Course,
like
yeah.
KSC yet or anything even. So like the pool of artists we had to like
Yeah.
pull from like wasn't as big at the time. So we were like, okay, let's ask some people we know. Um, I don't think I want to spoil the features, although like I feel like if there's an artist you can think of, like they probably are on it, but
Yeah. It's almost like Hidden Driveway before Hidden
you know that
Driveway.
exactly. I've said that in some interviews
Um,
actually.
in that regard.
Yeah, like
Um, it's really cool though. Yeah.
I think almost every person that's featured on Drillgaze I've done an interview with. So that's been cool.
That's actually so cool.
Um,
There's actually so many. I can't wait for it to come out. Side note,
yeah,
I'm just kind of like
we
fanboying
need
here.
to just like,
But yeah,
because there have been so many like technical difficulties with it. Like there have been people that just don't send in their verse, and I've mentioned it in many interviews at this
I
point.
wonder who that could be.
I wonder.
Yeah.
So like there's that. There's something we've had to take off. Like, and I'll say like this person. We had this producer called Angel Online, featured on one of the songs, and then I found out that
Yeah.
their boyfriend is like a pedophile and it's like very well known. And I
Oh,
found that out, and I just kind of took them off the project because I don't need to have that on
understandable.
there.
Yeah.
And then there's another person who was actually someone that I'd interviewed that one didn't come out. But after we found out that that person is just like not super awesome, and I don't even know why I don't want to say their name, but I know like someone else in the video that I did with them, like they don't say their name either. But
Yeah.
we just want to like take off their part from that song, which like sets us back even further because now we have to get someone on that beat. But like thankfully, there's so many more artists like
Yeah.
around now that like I'm sure we'll find someone.
I know the scene feels a lot bigger now, and it
Yeah.
feels like it gets bigger every day as well. Largely in part to Bappy. Shout out Bappy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really cool to see like Drillgaze is kind of like a prequel to the scene we have now, and you kind of predicted it. So I mean, I'm asking out of curiosity. Do you think it's coming out soon? Because I'm very excited actually
Soon?
for it.
No, not at
I don't
all.
think I can wait much longer.
Um,
Darn. Okay.
what we were hoping for this year, but we have not worked on it since last summer. So,
Damn.
cause like
Wait, really?
yeah, cause none of the people that were supposed to be featuring that we needed have done their parts, and like I haven't really made any progress with
Damn.
like the mixing either. And I think even with the pre-show, that only came out because like my birthday was like close at the time, and we were like we already wanted to drop these anyway, so why don't we just put these out just so like we have it out there.
Yeah.
And I think we also wanted to kind of have claim to doing Drillgaze like first or whatever, cause like Fear Dorian
Yeah.
is basically Drillgaze when you think about it, and then like Flash in the
I
Pan
guess so.
is like
Yeah.
is literally Drillgaze
She
also.
stole your idea, yeah.
Well, we stole
But then
her.
also
We
no,
stole
because
her
I feel like
music
she's
for
doing her
it.
own thing.
It is, but like
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad we dropped him when we did because like that sound has become not a lot more prominent, but it's like
It's a thing
other
now.
people are doing it. At the time when we started making it, it was like its own thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Which it's cool to see it become mainstream because it sounds amazing, but it's also kind of a shame that like I feel like a lot of people, watching this they're gonna know Drillgaze probably because they're on it. But to them, that's like the origin of the sound, and like for a lot of people who are going to be discovering like this amazing new genre, basically, they're not going to have that experience.
Yeah, I that project has been really fun to work on though. When we were working on it, like me and him like
Yeah,
met up, me and Restless met up to like make music videos for it. One of them is out now,
yeah,
although that song kind of flopped, which unfortunately, which oh well. But like that was still really cool, just getting to meet
yeah,
him in person and having him like hang out with my like friends here and stuff, and also getting to like
yeah,
have an excuse to like talk to and work with so many artists that at the time I had like no reason to. Like, I think No
yeah.
Convincing was like the first time that I had ever talked to like Ruby, pretty much.
I can't imagine like life without Ruby now,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like really weird to think
which is a
about.
crazy thing.
Or like
Yeah.
Cartel, who I've worked with a lot. Like I was like I had the
Mm,
beat made at the time for 36 times, but like the bass was not how it sounded on that song. I was like I wanted to get someone that like made Dark Plug on it, and then I found him and like sent him the beat, and I think he sent it back while Bag was there with me in person, and we thought it was like the funniest thing ever. And then we added the like stupid loud like bass to it to like match what he was saying.
but it kind of works though.
It does.
Like I wouldn't describe it as stupid. It's distinctive, but it's not bad at all. I think the choices for the pre-show, and I imagine it's very dictated by what's finished and what's not. But I feel like it's a very like solid set of choices, and it definitely
Yeah,
got me excited for the full show.
yeah. I will say that I do think the ones on the pre-show are probably the most like experimental beats on there, cause like
Yeah.
a lot of the other ones I still like the other beats, but like those are like
Hmm.
I found cool guitar loop, let me make it kind of like hazy, and then put drill drums on it. But these are like okay,
Yeah.
what if it was like drill but like dark plug? What if it was like drill but also tread, which is just me being inspired by like Carter and Nick's production because they've made a lot of like tread drill stuff in the past.
Yeah.
And then No Convincing was just like I hadn't done like any Jersey club stuff. So I was like, let me try like doing that kick pattern, but then also having all these other like rhythms on top of it.
Yeah. It all sounds good though. I just can't wait for everyone to be able to hear it finally.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed soon.
hopefully this year. Yeah, because I think if it, I won't say that. I was gonna say if it doesn't come out this year, it won't come out ever. Because like I feel like me and Bag have also just like gotten so much better at producing, but I still like all the songs that are on it. So like I wouldn't want to like delete
Yeah.
them or anything, but it's like I could do like so much better now.
Yeah. I mean, that's always like the thing about making things. Like you'll always go back to something like, oh, I know how I would have fixed this, or this would be sound so much better if I just did this.
Mm-hmm.
Which always sucks. But I feel like there's like a process to like post making something. You'll be like that, and you're like, actually, I think I cooked here because you kind of, at least in my experience, you kind of forget what you did, and you change your style in a way where that like that starts to sound as oh you forget what it was like working on it
Mm-hmm.
almost basically.
Yeah,
Um,
and then with
yeah,
Cameron, I actually met him through doing Drillgaze, because I think
yes,
Carter
yeah,
had shown me his song accidentally, like when it came out, and like I think oh
mhm.
no, Cameron was in the Links Club group chat at one point.
Yes, he was. Yeah, I remember that actually.
Not as a member,
Yeah.
he was just chilling in there for like a little bit and didn't say much. So I was always aware of him, but I hadn't
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
checked out his music. But I really liked
yeah.
accidentally, and I had made this beat, which I'll say this: it's the first song that's on Drillgaze, like the full project. And I
Okay.
was like, I need someone to yell on it. And at first, I was thinking Carter because this was like around when like Footnote Hatena had come out. So like that's what
Yeah,
I had in mind at first.
life changing song.
But that song's great.
Yeah,
But then I was like, well, I already have a song with Carter though, and I've listened to Accident like a lot. So I asked Cameron if he would like be down to be the feature on it, and he was. He like his part
yeah,
is finished. He wants to re-record it, but I forget exactly what happened. But like me and him just kind of started talking like more, and we would send each other like stuff for like
yeah,
feedback, and it progressed like really naturally. I think like it wasn't like hey we should
yeah,
work more. It was literally just we were talking, and then eventually like we got each other's phone numbers, which I don't remember. Oh no, it was because he didn't want me. we were getting tired of having to like constantly email each other our files because you can't send it over like
Yeah.
Instagram. And he doesn't use
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Discord,
Yeah. And
so
they've changed it back to like 8 MB anyway, so it's like it's
yeah.
useless.
So we were just texting each other files, and then one day I made like 4 beats in a day that I all liked and sent it to him.
Oh, I
And
remember that actually. Yeah.
yeah, which is like really rare. Like I'm really
Yeah.
slow when it comes to making music. So the fact that I had made 4 beats that I all really liked was like really rare. But he had recorded on a different beat that I had made like months ago with Nick, and one of the beats was the same BPM as that beat. So we tried just putting the acapella on the new one, and we are like, "Whoa, this is
Yeah.
like insane!" It was the DeMar DeRozan beat, which she later re-recorded to make it like
That's
fit
one
better.
of my favorites actually.
But like from there, we just started talking more and made a full project out of it. I think that was also really cool, just because like me and him would both be like in college. We still are, but like this was last semester. But we would just be talking to each other about like trying to balance like college and music and finding those little moments to like do things for it.
Yeah.
And like I think it's definitely been like the most fun I've had like working on a project with someone, because it did feel very like I made a friend out of it
Natural.
that I didn't know before, that I don't want to keep talking to like forever
Yeah.
after this. And it's not someone I would have thought I would have worked with either, because Cameron's style is so like, you know, I've talked about it, but it's like the antithesis of like what I do almost, where it's so like loud and distorted and like almost kind of like ugly in a way, but like in a cool way.
Yeah. 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 But it like it works so well though. Like, I mean, I don't think I was at the listening point, but I listened as soon as it came out because it came out a little bit earlier for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you showed me the entire thing beforehand, but when I did like the first full listen, because that always feels more special to me, then like everything just worked so well. So it's kind of cool to see that happen. Admittedly I haven't really checked out much of his like solo stuff, but that's really cool actually.
Yeah, me and him have been. This is just an idea, and I think it's kind of unlikely now because he's been taking a break from music at the moment. But we were talking about like, what if we did a
Yeah,
Caamuron Shull 2, where it was like all produced by him, and then
bro,
I have to do all the vocals on it. So like completely flipping what we
that'd
did
be
last
cool.
time.
I want to see that now.
Because I know for
He's been
him
doing more vocals
recording,
recently.
yeah. Because for him, like recording for Caamu was kind of scary. Because there's a lot of songs on there where he's like had to be a lot like sillier, or even like singing on some of them, which he doesn't do at all.
Yeah,
And it was like a big like thing for him. So I'd have to do that same like taking risks of like trying stuff that I'd never try on my own music, to like see how that would go,
yeah.
which I think would be cool if it does happen.
I want to see that now actually. Because I mean on the I don't know what to call it specifically, but split release, I guess. Your split release with Orange under LYNXCLUB as well. Like, it's really cool to see. Like, I mean, I really like the track actually. I'll say that first.
Hmm.
It's just really cool to see you work with your own vocals more recently. Because I feel like it really works with what you're making at the minute. So I definitely want to see that. I want to see how it works with other people's beats as well.
Yeah, I really want to get to a point where I can start like doing features and stuff. Like I don't know if I did I send you the thing I recorded recently. I don't know if I did or not, but it was
I
for
think so,
AOTY, like Juno
but I don't know.
77.
Yes, yeah, that was insane actually.
Was it the finished version or the demo? Because there was a
It might have been the demo. It might be the
yeah. Because
demo.
I finished
But I
recording
still
it,
remember hearing it, and it's
but
just like,
I think that's my favorite vocal thing that I've done, and that was also cool because I had to actually like write the whole song too, which I'm really bad about. Usually, I'll record like a little thing, and that's it, and then not put it out
off
anywhere.
of that. Yeah,
So like getting to sit down and actually record a full song that I actually liked a lot was cool, and it's like I should do that more. So I definitely want to. That's another thing. I do want to have like a release this year that is like me doing vocals and everything. And I know like
yeah,
we've talked about doing some stuff. So there's that.
we have.
We
Yes,
have,
that's
but
true.
there's
That's
also
true.
recently like I've been sending it to you, but like Zayok's music is like so sick to me, and the two like
Yes.
EPs that he has out, which are these really like bite-sized projects that have so much like cool ideas in them, or like
Yeah.
Technology by Lou, or like Prying Eyes by Tropes, and now there's these like really like bite-sized projects that have a lot of like cool stuff like shoved into them. I think could be a cool way to like
Yeah.
have me practice doing vocals more, because
I think so. And you don't have like the issue with like bigger projects is like I feel like you your style changes so much working on them that like your first things that you make like are so different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like with a bite-sized project that you don't have that, so I feel that would really work.
Yeah, I'd want her to feel very just like fun, or like maybe not fun, but like loose, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like casual. I know what you
Yeah,
mean, but it's putting into work. Yeah. I like that. I was gonna say it kind of like that one Jade's project, but also not because you wouldn't want it to be like that one Jade's project. No,
yeah.
that's
But
very
that
bad.
is like another
But
example of that like
you know what I
idea,
mean.
though.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Drillgaze as well. My next question was gonna be, obviously you've combined drill and shoegaze, to create this wonderful new genre that other people have stolen the idea for.
I
Um,
wouldn't say that. I don't think
are
they
there
took it
are
from
there any
me.
other?
I think they just kind of came to their own
I think they
conclusion.
did. I think there was like, I mean,
I don't think Fear Dorian was ripping me off. I
I
don't
feel
know.
there might be some leaked demos in there that like
Maybe.
influenced it. Maybe made its way to Theodorian and then made its way to Jane. You never know. You never know. My question was going to be, um, what are two other genres that you would like to see combined to make something new? And I mean, these don't have to be things that you know how to make. I mean, if it's something like noise and jazz, that's probably a thing actually. You know, what's on your mind for the next big genre?
No, I was thinking about this recently and I can't think of it anymore. No. Um I think it's not exactly new, but like kind of like what Cutspace does with their beats, but like even more like abstract kind of. Like I
Yeah,
can't make music like this at the moment, so I don't know how I would do it, but like I've been wanting to make stuff like Phoenician snares and then get like Ahmed to rap on it or something. Cause I think that would just be so like weird and like cool.
like which Venetian Spurs were we talking about? Because
Like
I
the
like
Cat
when I think of
album.
Venetian Spurs, I always think about the Cat album and like that one track, which that one track which I sampled. But then he's got that one project with like the Hungarian title, so like I don't know, people have different things, or like Yaya Yi almost
Mm-hmm.
kind of vibe. Yeah,
That's like I don't think people
that would
have
go
really
crazy actually.
like explored that idea. Like there's like glitch hop and stuff, but it's not as like I don't know, like it's hard to explain exactly. It's like I think that'd be a cool sound to like mess around with. It's like combining rap with that because you can rap on anything if you want, if you really try hard enough.
Yeah, I was kind of in the vein of rap. I think I've shown you like northeast rap, like Machina kind of stuff,
Oh
like
yeah.
MTG No D, etc. I mean, it's a lot of the beats on that are like trending. There was one which he used in like a really famous song that's trending on TikTok right now in like animation circles, and I just find it so weird that those like two combine. Like kind of Eurobeaty type thing.
hmm
And I was thinking, actually, Eurobeat needs to come back because everyone was enjoying it, and they're just like, where did it go?
And it's
You
beautiful
know?
too.
So it'd be really cool to see that. Yeah. Or like even like I mean Eurovision still does it, but I feel that's a whole world that the US just doesn't like know about.
Yeah. I mean, there was that one like Capo XO song. Like I feel like kind of like
Or
that.
like even yeah, I think faster though. I people are kind of scared of going faster than like 150 BPM. I think people need to take that risk because when you hear some of that stuff that people from the Northeast are making, it's so fast. It's so crazy. And it puts like Eminem rap god to shame.
Oh wait, that was
But it would be
another.
so cool to see that like combined with like
mhm.
jerk and stuff. Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
reminds me, because I know like there's like step team beats, and I've been like I don't know how it works because I'm not
Yes.
too good at making them. But it's fun trying making like a step team like drill beat where it has that same like swing, but with like the triplets, or even
I
making
think that's
like
an idea you can explore.
tread with that where it's so fast but still has that like.
Tread. Yes, I was thinking about this earlier actually, like 10 minutes ago. Do you think 2025 is the year of tread?
I think it definitely could be and should be because the people are here for it, but I don't know. I just think it
Someone
needs
needs to
like
take a step up.
one. It just needs one moment to like have its comeback. I think, or even like if working on dying, try to make it
Yeah.
tread again. Like that's all. That's all we would need. But I don't know if they will.
The condition to that. That's so sad though, because I remember like Stone was really like looking forward to like the year of tread, and it just hasn't happened yet. I remember they were gonna do that one shred album, and like it just dissolved. Like no one could be
No, I
bothered to
saw that
work
like
on it.
Elaine sent like an open for it in the server. That was really good, and I tried recording on it just like for fun, but I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's so bizarre. Like
The chop
that just
chin
fell apart
tread
as
beat.
well. I didn't see the chop chin tread beat. What is that?
Wait, really? Oh, dude, hold on. Let me.
No, I haven't seen the chop
Wait, I,
chin tread
I think
beat.
I have it. I think I have it installed. Wait, not installed. Downloaded.
Installed
Wait.
like a program. Oh, that's actually so cool. But that's weird to think that like that it kind of just like it was so ephemeral and it took place in like the space of a week and I was gonna get to it, but I was like so busy and then when I got to it, people were like, no, we're not doing it.
Well, it's also like that's
Okay,
what
man.
happens. Like that's just like when you're on winter break, you're like, oh, we can do so much stuff. We have so much free time, and then you get off of winter break and you go back to school.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's what
I think that's
happened
what
with the
happened with
Links
the
Club
internet album.
stuff too. Like I
Yeah,
think it still could happen if everyone like
RIP
pitches
internet
in
album.
for it, but
I want to now. Now that there's a split release out, I feel like that is the catalyst really.
yeah, because like we put
But
those out because like the songs are both done, so it's like we might as well just have them out if they're gonna exist. We don't know if there'll be more, but I want there to be more. It's just
yeah, I should do as well because it's like when I forgot what it's called, but it's like the one with the like really stupidly long title and it's got the hexed version as well, which is really annoying that I can't remember the
off
title.
pump.
But like I know the tune. Yes, off pump with the very short title that I should have remembered, but like that's so memorable in my mind, and that just felt like we're really onto something. And then just nothing happened after that. There's like a multiple year hiatus, which is so annoying as well because like everyone's so talented now, but they're just doing different things.
Yeah, it's also like it's weird in hindsight thinking about how like we never had a Links Club song, or like Devin never had
No,
anything to do with Links Club really, despite being in the group the whole time.
nah,
Like
yeah,
I wish we had done
but
more,
it's kind
more
of
Links
like
Club
that. It's like a
singles.
community. Yeah, maybe we need to force ourselves to like make more, or maybe I should do it because I just have no idea to do it. Like I don't know what to do at the
No,
minute,
I was
so maybe I just do.
we were talking about
That.
Newport Motel's interview, but like they run their collective, and they actually like properly like run it. Like they
Oh,
have like a schedule for like we should drop stuff on these dates. You gotta have music ready for these dates and stuff. Which like I
bro,
think
we should do that.
maybe we should. I think it could get a little stressful also, but like I think just like being like, hey guys, we should drop once a month. Why don't we all get a song ready for each month? Like
Yeah,
I think that'd be a cool
that's
way to
true.
encourage
I mean,
collaboration more. But I don't want to like force it onto people because then it makes it not fun.
I, it's so casual as well as the thing. Like that's why it works. Like it was like especially in like 2022. I think I bring this up later as well. But like I mean one of my best memories from Links Club was the Terraria world.
Mm-hmm.
Like that but it was so casual as the thing. It's not like I feel like and I wouldn't know because I'm not in it, but like with Killstreak and that, it's people who are like very motivated to get music out, very talented, who like they know they want to make music, but they're also like all good friends because of that, you know? Whereas I feel like it's kind of the other way around with Links Club, like everyone's friends before that. Like that's the
Yeah.
most important thing. And then everyone just kind of makes music as like a secondary thing.
Well, yeah, because Links Club got created because Nick, like, I still think that Planet Zero was, like, part of the inspiration for Links Club. Because I know we were already in a teen week at the
Yeah.
time. Like, I don't know if that's true or not, but
Yeah.
I remember saying in Mason's interview. But,
I
like,
think it
we
was.
made Links Club because, like, everyone in, like, our server at the time, or not everyone, but, like, there was this select group of people that all made music. And there was no reason for us to not, like,
And we all just like,
work together. So, like,
yeah.
Nick made that group chat that
And then
was
we never
like,
did. And we're all good friends. And like the memories from that is actually
mhm.
crazy as well.
Like,
Like the pins in that
yeah.
is so crazy.
Wait, what was the OG lineup? Like day one, I think it was me, you, Nick, Carter,
Me,
Carlo,
you.
and
Yeah.
LG. I think.
Yes. Yeah. Although he might have been later.
No,
But it was definitely it was
LG.
definitely those.
LG was day one, and then he got kicked, and then joined back a year later.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And he released like some insane stuff as well. That's so right actually. But I don't feel like it like fell into its own groove until like a little while. Like it kind of just happened
I
and
think
then
once Jaden
it
joined is
really
when I would
happened.
say it did.
Yes. He's like an OG in my mind
Yeah, well, because
because he
Jaden
joined
was like
so early
someone
on, but
that
like
because Jaden was a new person to all of us, so like it was different because we all had to get to know him. but like I can't picture it,
I
like,
can't
without
imagine it
him.
without him now.
Yeah,
He's just awesome. Shout out Jaden.
even though he was the
I
first
was like,
person to leave, though.
that's true, but at least he was like honest about it and
Yeah.
like said he was gonna. And also, he didn't make it, which is the big difference.
I still can't believe
like
Nick wanted to leave the group, but still wanted to be in the group
that he
chat.
made. And then they made Star for him, and it's like the same thing, just like different music. I need to do stuff for Star Form actually, because like I know last time I talked to Kato was like a few months ago, and he was like, "You should do stuff for Star Form," and it's like, yes, I should, and I've done nothing for it.
Oh yeah, Nick showed me the. I'm so sad. Apparently the Star Form tape is like scrap now, but he showed me like all the beats for it, and
Really?
they're so cool. And it's like, man,
Internet album too. Although not, because he just stopped working on it as the thing, and then refused to work on it. It's like it's not his thing anymore.
yeah.
So that is actually lost media now. I may as well just like put it somewhere. You know what? I think after this, I'm just gonna go on SoundCloud and just put it on.
The full like
Just like the really
is it the
compressed
compressed
version.
mix? Do we have the original songs anymore? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think we do.
I have some of like the lost songs because I went back and found them. Like, do you remember? There was one that's not on the original. That was on the original track list, and it's gone now. And I can like imagine it in my
Was
head,
it
but I
like
can't remember the
the
lyrics.
was
It
it
was
the
one of that.
Digicore one?
It was the digital one. That was actual digital. Yes, yeah. And it was that was so good. And then the original Let Go, I kind of preferred to the new one.
I don't. I think the
I
new Let
realize a
Go
lot
is
of
more
people.
like cathartic,
Yeah,
and I know no one's gonna know what we're talking about, and that's okay.
I was just gonna say. I mean, I wish I could find the files to like put on to have the mysterious editor who's not you put on
Well, what
as we speak.
wasn't what
But
we were talking
I can't
about?
find the files.
I don't know. I guess we'll say it because
I'm
I don't
kind
know
of
what
lost now,
happened.
actually.
But what I was gonna say was, didn't we talk
Yeah,
about like dropping all of your OG Internet album? Like, if Internet Album 2
we
is the
did.
thing, we would drop all of it the day before Internet Album 2.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's true. I think I've heard that, but I think we should just do it at this point. Like it's been almost 4 years. Like if it was a child, it could speak and possibly read at this point, which is really sad. So I think we should just do something with it, which is sad to think about.
And like, is the Nov Hertz lore like scrapped at this point?
Oh, the law. Do you remember the law document?
Yeah. Also, like the
Because that was
Amanda
so
lore
like
document.
intense. But that was flashed out, and that actually almost came out. It did come out, didn't it?
Well, Condemn came out and Alcohol, and that was it.
They were so brilliant though. I was revisiting them, and it was like actually like that. He was incredibly talented, and they just like didn't do the rest of the project.
Well, that's all Carlo's
But
projects though, and it's so sad because like that's the goat, and like
it's
but
so
no one will
sad.
no one will ever know because they haven't heard all of his best stuff.
I know. I need an interview with him. Like to watch in the background.
No, me and
Um,
him have talked about it. We want to do it after he
is
drops
he
a
gonna do it?
project, which
For never. Like it's so funny that I think he knows as well. Like he's not gonna drop a project in a while because he's doing like koala beats every now and then now.
well, he
Um,
like works in a studio.
which is such a shame. Yeah, so he does as well. And like I've never heard any of the stuff that he makes. Does he just like make stuff for people?
He sent it to me sometimes. It's pretty good. Although I will say that I prefer his electronic stuff like more. I think like the electronic influence stuff more. Although he's really good
Yeah.
at making like West Coast like type beats too, but
I know. Do you remember the one remix he did of Every Realize the Sunshine? That was so crazy as well.
oh, wait, was that the Roy Ayers like flip? Was it that one?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that one. That was so good. I don't know how he does it, and like his production style is so bizarre. And he also just shows up at like random points now. Like I don't think I've talked to him in like a few months. It's always just crazy when he does. But we always have like brilliant conversations
hmm
about like the most weird stuff, or like Mexican food always comes up, which is it's a conversation that I greatly enjoy. So always welcome.
Yeah, no. I think
But
like
yeah,
if I didn't know Carlo, I don't know if I would be making music even like cuz he was the real reason I started. And like I think he helped me so much
yeah,
too cuz like for a long time I thought I sucked because I did, but he would show me that like I had good ideas. I just wasn't like using them properly. I would like set on my
he
project
just knew what
file
to
and
do
he would
though.
like flesh it out. I'd be like, "Oh." and that gave me like way more confidence in like my own stuff after seeing that.
It was so crazy as well because like obviously music's not objective at all, but he always had like the kind of the right idea as to what to do, like almost objectively right.
Hmm.
As like he knew exactly if you were stuck at a roadblock, he would know like it's going in this direction now,
Yeah, or
and it was always
like
brilliant.
his ear is just so good too. Like you remember Cream, right?
How could I forget?
Um, but
I
like
mean, it's fading from my memory now because the SoundCloud link doesn't work, but
yeah, but
I
like
remember
the
it.
original Cream was this like really bad plug-in B beat that I made, and he was like, "Okay, wait, you can do this, but like so much better," and then turned it in this super like this like beautiful like explosive like thing that sounds nothing like anything else I've ever heard, and it's like
I don't get how he's gonna do it. Like how he's not gonna do an interview, like because he has so much to talk about as well, like because every time he just like appears on a call, it's just like oh my god, the goat's here, and like I'll be on it for ages, so it would just work. I just maybe you need to tell him like maybe I need to tell him because I do the show. I need to tell him like you are doing an interview, and you are doing it at this date and time, and you will not say no.
yeah, I think I would just want him to have him once he has more to talk about in terms of release music, because like for most artists, like I think I only
Yeah,
would do one interview, so I'd want that out there, but I don't know.
yeah, that is true. That is true. Sad. I forgot what the last question was. Um, I feel like this tangent's been a brilliant tangent, but it's
It
been
has.
going
We
on
were talking
for
about
so long. I actually
we were
forgot.
talking about vocals. I think was that what it was?
That wasn't even the question. It's been going on that long. But I digress. I digress. Because the next question isn't a question. Wait, it's a question, actually. It's a request. Because in the last interview, yes, me, I beat Newport Hotel in Rock, Paper, Scissors. And I'd really like to continue my streak. So, can we play Rock, Paper, Scissors?
I think we could.
And now I think the latency is really off. So I'm not sure how well.
Well, that's like
But we
well,
can
when
try.
I
We can
watch
try.
these, don't you say to close your eyes when we do it? So there's not like a delay that like we can see at least.
Yes, I do. This is true, and I remember this.
Yeah.
Um, okay, yeah. So I forgot how we've done it. It's
Rock paper
I've got
scissors
mind blanks
shoot.
today. Rock paper, but
Yeah.
like with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Rock paper scissors.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, brilliant. Do I usually do best of three?
Best 2 out of 3. Yes, you do.
Okay,
Okay.
brilliant. I just forgot. Yes. Okay,
Yeah, it happens.
right.
Rock, paper,
Rock
scissors,
paper
shoot.
scissors shoot.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I just realized my hand's like above the thing, like below the thing.
Oh.
Okay,
Rock, paper.
but does that count as one?
No, that's
Oh,
just a tie. You have to get like 2 wins.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Okay. Rock paper
Paper,
scissors
scissors, shoot.
shoot.
Oh.
My hands are always like below the camera. I need to. We're just in sync.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Rock,
Rock
paper,
paper
scissors,
scissors
shoot.
shoot.
Ooh.
Bro, this is really embarrassing because I think my streak is like 3 at this point, or 2.
I think it's 2.
Because I think I beat Bappy as well.
Yeah, I'm an avid watcher. I think it's 2.
It's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Okay.
Okay.
Rock,
Rock,
paper,
paper,
scissors,
scissors, shoot.
shoot.
No, you're not.
Bro, I lost my streak. I lost my streak. I mean, I might have to break character for a minute. I don't know what this means because I know. I mean, I've been dealing with this bit so well. I feel like a lot of viewers are gonna realize. Then they're gonna hear that you actually run the show, and they're like, "What? No, surely not." But those unaware, you have a big document with all your wins and your losses, and I was actually wondering, how are you gonna mark this? Are you winning, or is it the interview who's winning?
Well, I still beat you, so I feel like by that margin, I would
My streak.
I would win, but it wouldn't affect my lose streak, if that makes sense.
Yes. Oh, so it's like a void one.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Wait, actually,
Well, I've just lost my streak.
what would I even say in the next interview? I don't even know. I guess that I won. That's all I have to
beat
say.
myself.
'Cause I still won.
Yeah.
I still won, but
I don't know. We're getting into like breaking fourth wall territory here, I think. Let's not question it.
mhm.
So moving on to the next question. Your mascot is a blue octopus. So first of all, I mean, there are other questions related to this, but I was actually wondering, what's your favorite, like, your top three favorite animals? Because I don't, to me, I don't imagine you like an octopus at all.
Hmm. I don't either, but like when I came up with the name Amu, I just thought like, what is Amu? And I saw this like, cause I think you might remember this, like my old profile picture that I had for Amu was like this
Mhm.
like weird like 3D model thing that was like super like blocky. That was like this circle with like two eyes
Mhm.
and then like legs. And in my head, like that's like what Amu looked like to me.
I remember it, but that to me is just a blue octopus. Like, in my mind, that's not any different.
Well, no, it
But I
was,
remember
and
that.
then I think eventually I was like, you know what, this looks kind of bad. Let me get a better one. And I just found a new one off Google Images that I thought looked cool. So it's a stolen mascot, I guess, but like
That's okay.
I feel like it's part of me now. I don't know.
It's kind of.
Um
I feel like it works, but if it's not your favorite animal, which three are?
um I like I like turtles a lot. They're pretty cool. Plus like they have their home on their back too. Like that's awesome. I like penguins a lot. Also, that's like,
Me too. Me too.
and I'm
I
trying to
love
think.
Club Penguin a lot.
Mm-hmm. We should go
So so
party in your
so to me,
igloo
that's yeah,
at some point.
that's true. Yeah, you should tune in. You should tune in. But yeah, I get that. I get that. They're very cool. Do you have a favorite like subtype of penguin?
Uh,
Because there's a lot of different ones.
there are, and I'm trying to think of like, because the only one I can picture is like the emperor penguin, but and those look really
Yeah,
cool, but those aren't my favorite. But I don't think I know what my favorite is.
that's fair. I respect that. Do you going back to turtles actually, I just realized. Do you prefer turtles to tortoises? Because they look very similar, but they behave very
Well,
different.
tortoises are
Is
like
that part of it?
bigger, right? And they're like kind of on land.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if they can swim actually. My nan's got a tortoise. And it just showed up one day, and then like it's been there for it's like 90 or something now, which is insane. And we give it baths and stuff, but I don't know if it can swim.
Wait, 90
So
years
I'm really not
old?
sure. It just showed up, and they have to like take it to the vet and like ask how old is this tortoise, and it just like yeah, it's probably nearing its hundreds,
That's
which
that's
is just
insane.
mental, and it
Is it
just
like
doesn't
healthy
age.
still?
Like it, yeah, I think so. Like it's grumpy and it's slow, but like most tortoises are. I think they're generally lethargic, so they just last forever.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't visibly age. It's not like a dog where like you can tell as they start to mature and like the behavior changes. It's just always been there, which is really weird. But yeah, they're very odd, very different to turtles where they're fast, I guess. I was just interested if you think the behavior is different and if that impacts your choice.
Uh, I think I just like how turtles look more.
That's fair.
And then I guess if I had to pick another one, I guess probably like cats. But it's weird because I think I prefer dogs in real life. But like my profile picture online is like pretty much always a cat from like some album cover,
Yeah,
and they're just fun to draw. So like probably
they
a
are.
cat, but for different reasons than the other ones.
Do you think you're more of a dog or a cat person?
I mean, I had
A
a
cliche
dog,
question,
so
but like yeah.
I'm biased, but like
Yeah. I mean, I think the question's kind of open-ended. Some people like when you ask them that, they'll think like a cat person is someone who like cats get on with, rather than someone who just prefers cats. And that means I don't know where I stand because I don't have cats, but I do have dogs. And I really love my dogs and they're wonderful. But then my neighbor also has cats and like they seem to really let me and they're also wonderful. So
hmm.
I know where I stand. That's very interesting though.
I mean, I don't think you have to be one or the other. Like I would say I'm a
Yeah,
dog person, but that doesn't mean I'm anti-cat.
that's true. Yeah, a lot of people forget that if you put a dog and a cat in the same room and like just left them to their own devices, they'd probably be very good friends by the end of the day. So they're not at war. It's quite sweet, really. That's interesting. That's a good top three. So leading on to the next question. Secondly, when I hear the words blue octopus, I think of Bubblegum Octopus, which is a band that you introduced me to, even though I forgot about it and you reintroduced me to it like a week ago,
Mm-hmm.
through Links Club and some other artists who, like, to me, like I just can't imagine life without them. Is obviously big one, Orange Cake Mix, Lil B, and then slightly before that, before like it was a formal thing in Links Club, Jane Remover, who I'm sure is very influential to a lot of people in who you've interviewed, who I've interviewed even. So my question, I guess, and this might be a bit hard to answer, is what do you think your favorite music recommendation that you've ever been given and given to someone else has been? And that could be influential. That could just be you just heard the music and you're like, yeah, this is a top 10.
Ooh,
You know?
that's a good question. I feel like it would have to be from LG. LG has always given me the best recommendations. Like I think he showed me LYYNXCLUB's Crushing in like 2020, which is like insane at the
Oh,
time. I think he
yeah.
showed me Pasteboard also.
Really?
Yeah, and Damage. He showed me
That's
Damage also.
very important, actually. Yeah. Doesn't Bappy really like Damaje?
Yeah, Babby's a big fan of Damage. Actually,
Which is wild to me as well, because like I would feel like because they were kind of small at the time, we would have interacted.
well, I think we did technically because I know Carlo always had like the like he would do like the FM bot and like do like the global who knows and like see, and he was always the second person. I think Bappy was the number one.
That's really weird, actually. But that's so cool to think about. Yeah. Um, what's the favorite recommendation that you've given someone else?
I mean, like I feel like that would just be Frailty because it's my favorite album. But like if I had to go with some more like underrated picks, and these are both from Gwen that I've told other people about. So I guess it kind of goes for both ways. But like Sia by
Yeah,
Bulldog
that's fair. That's
Eyes
fair.
and then No Say More by AOTY are both just like so beautiful, and like I'll always play those like in the car with my friends whenever we're like driving back from somewhere, and they always just like love it. So probably those two
That's
albums.
actually so nice. I still need to listen to the Bootlxgg project because it always looks brilliant. You always talk about it.
Yeah,
I need to tap
I
in.
will say that their social media presence like sucks, but it's like one of those where I just kind of like
Oh,
ignore it and just listen to the music.
like it sucks in like a JPEG Mafia type of way,
Yeah, like they just
like Kanye West
complain.
type of way.
They just complain all the time. And like I understand like the stuff they're complaining about,
Yeah,
but it's just like there'll be like paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of stuff with like really small font. And it's like I don't want to
yeah.
read all of that.
If
Actually,
it's like understandable, I guess it's not a JPEG Mafia type thing at all.
I think Boulder Guys has listened to you. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, they used to have they got rid of it. People kept trolling in it, but they had like a little like some link you could click on that would like send you some website where you could like ask them any question anonymously. And I'd be like, "What do you think about Higin? What do you think about Pastoria?" And like see what people what they would say in response, and they weren't a fan of it. I don't think, but they don't like anything that people recommend
Bro,
to them usually.
that's kind of fair. I respect hating as like a career. Like I don't think I'm a good hater, but like when people really commit to it, then it's kind of
Well,
interesting.
do you respect Riley Reacts though?
No, but like he's not a true hater. I don't feel like he has that. I feel like it's a very superficial hate in his heart. That like it's not hate, it's boredom
I think
from not
I think
finding
he was
something that
just
he truly
like
likes. And
disgruntled.
he's found that with Jane. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do. He watched Anthony Fantano, was like, I want to be like him. And then he realized actually I don't want to be like Anthony Fantano because no one does. But like not now because I know him as a very, very nice person.
Hmm.
But I remember like a few years ago, like Stone, like just the ultimate hater.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and it was so incredible to watch. I was actually like, it was amazing to see. I actually loved it. And then now I know him. He's just like the sweetest person
Yeah.
ever.
No, when he had the like the
Um,
TJX6 profile picture, like during that era.
he was evil. It was brilliant though, because it felt like villainous rather than like genuinely like mean.
Hmm.
It was like, yeah, someone like who would have like a hero that like fights against him in like an epic battle. Even if that battlefield is Twitter. But it was so funny to see. Yeah, that kind of hating. Maybe not like JPEG Mafia type
I'm
hating.
trying to think what other releases. I guess like Teen Week when that came out, because Carter showed me it the day it came out, and that like changed everything for
And you showed
me.
it to me That changed my life.
So like that's definitely up there. Also,
Yeah.
I guess like Igor by Tyler the Creator. Also, because when that like I hated
Yeah.
rap when that album came out, but Carlo kept talking about it, and I was like, you know what? For Carlo, I'll listen to it, and I was surprised by how much I liked it. I like it way more now, but at the time, like it like had made a lot more like headway than I thought it would, and that was also a really important like album for me at the time.
Yeah. I respect that. I was gonna say Team Week actually like is one that if I was gonna pick like a recommendation you've given to me that's changed my life, that would be it. Because I was again making like music before that for about like a year. And also similar to you, like I didn't like rap until Doom died and Nick said, you know, I'm doing like a binge of those projects. Like he's been so influential to me. You need to tap in now because like it's a respect thing. And I did, and it just changed my mind. And I was like, this is actually brilliant. And that just shaped like the rest of my career. But Teen Week, especially, like that was like, oh my god, that's brilliant. I was trying to like my real life friends at the time. I don't think they were like tapped in. They're just like, oh, that's
You
cool.
know, mine hated it too.
That's
I
something,
was
yes.
trying, but
But it felt so special to be like to like that. Like it definitely felt like the next big thing, and it was. Just definitely paid off, which is pretty cool.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any more albums like that for me.
There's so many, and you just like don't realize it. Like if you look through your liked songs, like there's always someone you can like trace it back to. I
Yeah,
think.
but I feel like a lot of the super impactful releases for me though were ones that I was shown by other people.
Yeah.
I guess one, and this isn't really for me anymore, but when I was in like middle school, De Cool introduced me to
Mm.
like Slushy. Was this like EDM artist that was making
Who
like
was Slushing again?
lo-fi hip hop for a little bit, and I like
Was this like
loved
Snail's House type thing?
kind of, but it was this
Yeah.
really cool like
Yeah.
lo-fi stuff that I really liked at the time. And like I think I used to say that like Dream 2 was like one of my favorite albums like ever or something, which is definitely not true anymore. But that was like a really big like album for me when I was like first getting into music.
I need to tap into that. I feel like I've listened to Slushy before and never realized it
It's nothing like
because
crazy,
my
but there's
music
some
taste used to
songs
be like
that
really
still like
different.
hold up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. On the topic of friends recommending people other things and friends in general, I know we talked about before we talked about you have collaborated with almost everyone in the scene, which is amazing. But one big thing to do with friends that I really, really like that you do is for, especially in 2023, 2024, for your friends' birthdays, you would make some really well produced mashups of their favorite songs. And I'm assuming like songs that are important to both of you,
Mm-hmm.
um, which I think is a really sweet idea. More people should do that. So my question is, bit of a silly one now. Um, Birthday parties as a child, what was your favorite game to play? Like when they bust out like musical statues, like did you go crazy?
That wasn't as much of a thing for me. I think like we would just play Smash Bros usually, and that was like the thing
Yeah.
for. But I can
But
say
there's so many fun
some of
kid
my favorite
games.
birthdays though that I've had to like kind of tie into it maybe.
Mm.
Because I don't really remember playing any
Yeah,
games. My friends just kind of come to my house and we would just like talk and then play Smash Bros.
that's kind of I respect that. Mine kind of turned into that later on, but like it would always be like in like really early primary school. Then like people would invite like a lot of people from class, and they go to like a trampoline park or like a
Mm-hmm.
soft play or something, and you'd always get like chicken nuggets and chips. And everyone like get loads of ketchup and stuff. You had the birthday cake, and you play like musical statues and like pin the tail on the donkey. I was researching this. I was like, I forgot that exists. I was like, yo, that's actually such a throwback. Is it nothing like that? It's like
Well, no, there
that was
definitely is, but
crazy
I
as a
don't think
child.
on my birthdays we ever, or even ones I went to, I don't think we ever played stuff
Damn,
like that. I know there was one guy that I was friends with who would always invite me to go like play laser tag with him for his birthday.
I bet it was cool actually.
That
That
was
was they were always the best
that
birthdays.
was really cool. I don't know. I feel like, especially now that I'm not in high school anymore, and like I value the people in my life a lot more because they're not like just in front of me every day. Like there's some people that I can only
Yeah,
see like a few times a year because now I'm not like there all the time. So like For me, I care more
Yeah,
about just like spend time with people that are important to me rather than like what we're doing.
that's fair. I mean, it is like a thing you do as a kid. I mean, birthday. It would be. I would never be opposed to like making birthday parties like play musical statues again. But yeah, as you grow up, it's generally like that. Um, you haven't done any birthday mixes in a while. Do you think you're going to do some in the future? Because I actually really like them.
Uh, I stopped doing them because I realized like I would have loved to keep doing it, but I got too busy, and it's like I know too many people,
Yeah,
which is a good problem to have. But it's like then you don't want to do some for some people
yeah,
and then not for other people, and like it would take me like
I get
a
that.
solid like week to work on it, and it's like I just don't have the time
Yeah,
to do that when there's other stuff I have to prioritize, like want to prioritize. I feel really
that's
bad
fair.
too because one of my
Yeah,
friends like at the end of like last school year, because I started doing the mixes like after her birthday, I think. Because originally I made it for my friend that like makes music that goes to my college, and I had like sampled a song that he had made and like all this other stuff. So that's why I started doing it, and then I just kept
that's
doing it
so
because I
cool.
realized like this is like a way more personal present, and I don't have to spend money.
Yeah,
So that was my initial thought
that's true.
process.
Yeah,
But I just got too busy, and like I guess I also just
yeah,
don't like.
that's understandable.
I'm still friends with all those people, obviously, but I just don't see them as much anymore either. So I think part of like not feeling like
Yeah,
as close with them has been part of it too. But
yeah.
I don't know.
And I suppose like if you made one year, then it's like it makes sense to do it the next, and then you have loads that you have to be doing.
Yeah, and it's
It
like
is a good problem to have. You're right, but I get it. That's really nice though. Yeah. I guess follow-up question. Actually, this is I just thought of this. What's your favorite flavor of cake? Like, if you had to get a birthday cake any way you wanted, what would be on it? What would be in it?
I have some really unfortunate news to tell you. Actually, I don't like frosting, so I don't eat birthday cakes on my birthday. I always get donuts instead.
I get that though, actually. Oh, but like donuts, they have like a glaze though,
Yeah,
right?
it's weird. I like glazed donuts, but I don't like cake frosting, which I don't know why, but I
Does it
always
depend on
eat
the type of frosting?
it. Just I just don't like how it sits in my mouth. Like
Oh, like sugary, but like a suspension rather than like creamy.
yeah, because you can't like chew on it
I get
either.
that.
So
Yeah. What if you got a glazed cake? Like it's like a shell of like
Ugh.
glaze over this like
I-
cylinder. You
no,
should try it.
but I do rock with
Okay,
plain
maybe
and
not. Maybe
glazed
not.
donuts. Those are pretty awesome.
I see. I'm the exact opposite. Like I can't stand most donuts. So that's really interesting to me actually. But I think like a cake without icing or frosting at all can sometimes be a good thing. That was like I was really looking forward to that question.
So sorry.
I don't know. That's okay.
I mean,
That's
I'm a
okay.
picky
I
eater,
can't
so it's
force you to have
like
fun.
yeah, I'm a picky eater. So sometimes
That's fair.
there's some foods that I just don't eat, and cake is one of them.
That's fair. I mean, I after COVID, my taste actually got better, but because like the interim, then I lost my taste and I was
Hmm.
really aware of like the textures in my mouth and stuff. I realized I really don't like the taste, not taste, like the texture of cornstarch in a sauce in my mouth. So it means like when I go to like fast food restaurants and stuff, I can't have the sauces because I'm just hyper aware of it and I'm just like, ugh.
Hmm.
Or like I love Chinese food, but I always have to get like soup or like just like dry rub stuff. Like ribs and stuff, I can't have like with sauce. I always have to get like dry or extremely watery stuff, otherwise I'm like hyper aware of it. So I kind of get that, but different thing.
Yeah, I don't like sauces either, but that's just like it's like a texture, like sensory thing. Like
Yeah,
like they made the food dry, so why are you
I
putting
really
goop
get
on
that.
it? That's my thought process.
That's kind of true, yeah. But then like also wet food would like put me off. Like everyone talks about Wingstop now, right? Like I mean, I think it was like a month ago now, but like obviously I talked about like I'm using a different Mac at the minute. My other one broke because I spilled coffee on it. So it's being repaired at the minute. But it meant as like part of that, I had to go to Reading on the train quite often. And what that meant is I had to go to like a shopping center with the Apple Store in because it was the closest one, and they also had a Wingstop, and I was like, okay, do I try this every time? And I had to look at the menu, and it's just like the same chicken wings, but like covered in like nice tasting slop, like nice tasting, but still slop, like goopy slop, and it's just like, how are people enjoying this? In my mind, or like I see stuff with like Raising Cane's as well, and like they have like the big like cup holders of like cane sauce, and they're just
Oh, it
like,
was like kind of like brown and like
ew.
pink.
It just looks disgusting.
I don't know. My friend
And like
loves
they
it,
get
so
like a
like
whole like
I always give him
cup
my
of it.
sauce whenever we go get canes
Everyone
together.
does. That's cool though. Like that's cool to find someone who like feels the same way. Because I'll tell people like it doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So next question. We are nearing the end, but we are not on the final question. I think we've got three more. So obviously we've talked about Lynx Club quite a lot already. I wasn't expecting to talk about it that much. With a lot of people who I think we've already mentioned. You were also in a collective called Operation Desert Storm a while ago with, and I wrote them down because I actually forgot who was in it. I wasn't. I should have been. With XX99, Porcelain, and Young Rat Poison, all of which I believe you've interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I've interviewed in the past.
Yes, you
I think.
have. Yeah.
So, I mean, we've kind of already discussed this. What's your favorite memories of being in a collective? And, how do you think that's influenced how you make music now? I think we already kind of talked about this in the sense that, like, Carlo just always knew what to do. But, what's your favorite memories from both of them?
Officer Operation Desert Storm. I was about to say Officer Down Records because that's like the group chat name for it. We still talk in there like every day pretty much.
Yeah.
But that was never an official like collective. Like it was supposed to be. But we never made like there's another one was like we should make a group and it never went anywhere. But we still talk like every day. But that's like me, Bag, Young Rat Poison, Porcelain, Mercy in the Well, and then Juno 77. And 99's in there too, but she hasn't talked in there in like 2 years. So I think originally that got made because for the song Third Person that I produced for Young Rat Poison, I sent Gwen the beat for that in like 2022, and they were like, "Wait, this is crazy. You should get Andrew on this, Andrew's Young Rat Poison, because they make music together in real life a lot." So they made a group chat for me, Andrew, and them. And then I think Mercy got invited to it later on, and it became like every time we met someone that we thought like made cool music, we would kind of invite them to it. So, I feel like that insinuates something, which it should not. That's not what I meant. But like, whenever it was like people that we knew were like, actually, I don't even know. I think what I was trying to do was like combine like random people I meet and get them to like talk more in a group setting, kind of, because that's how Juno got involved with that. Because they were my real life friends, online friend, and they were like just starting to get into music at the time. So my friend introduced me to them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I know all these other people that also make music. You should join this group chat. And that's how they got in there. I forget why Bag got invited. I actually don't remember. Now I think about it.
I didn't know it was in it. 'Cause I was looking back to like when it just formed in like 2022. I was just like going off that original roster. So there's a few people who forgot that.
Yeah, but with that, I think that was cool because I had to like learn how to talk to like people that I didn't really know that well. Cause like I've been friends with Gwen since 2021, so like I already knew them pretty well around when that got made. Like I had to get to know Andrew, who I work with a lot now, and like getting to know Mercy and like seeing all these people that are making cool music that like I wasn't really exposed to. I don't know, cause like this was also like
that is cool.
Like KG was around at the time, but like I wasn't really tapped into what they were doing.
Me too, actually. Yeah.
So like
I was
hearing
it felt like adjacent.
Yeah. So like hearing what like Mercy was doing or what Andrew was doing was like really interesting to me. Oh wait, Elijah B was in that also at one point.
At one point,
okay. Yeah.
Because I feel like Elijah was going to come up in this interview at one point because like his stuff is so crazy, and he's a promo demon as well. Like I don't know, there's a lot to envy, and also I did a beat battle against him. So there's that. But yeah, he's like, in my mind, I feel like he's been around for like a few years now. He's kind of like, he feels like he's just joined Lynx Club, but he also feels like he's been there for ages. I also can't imagine it without him.
Yeah. I mean, he's not in, for clarification, he's not in for the video. He's not in LYNXCLUB, but
Is he?
he's not.
He feels like it though. There's so many people who like feel spiritually like they're in it.
Yeah, no, like he himself, he's like associated, but not like in it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's so weird. I could have sworn.
I should have been talking about him more in this video too, because he plays such an important part of like my own stuff. But I guess it just hadn't
There's
come
still
up.
time.
Yeah, I mean, oh, I think I invited Elijah there too, because that was again like person I knew that made music that was kind of separate from like everything else. So I invited him into there so
Yeah,
that I could talk to like him and everyone else in like a group setting. But
I mean that is the cool thing. He does do his own stuff. It's like outsider every genre ever, and it's so cool to see his production process. Actually, I
mhm.
love that Beat Art video because it's just like, I don't know. He's so cool.
He's working on a lot of cool stuff too. Like, I've been getting to hear all of it early, and it's really awesome. So I'm excited for that to come out. Um, he
I
ended
hope
up
he's doing an album.
not an album, but actually I don't want to leak his own stuff, so I won't say too
Okay, that's
much.
fair. That's respect.
Um, he's been working on some stuff. But yeah, he ended up leaving that group chat though, just because he wasn't vibing with everyone in there as much. Which that's his opinion. That's
Yeah,
fair. But I still talk to everyone, and that's in there.
yeah,
And then with Links Club, I think definitely like that 2021 to like I guess like the first full year in Links Club, so like 2021 2022 is
yeah.
definitely like the highlight for me of that. Cause like going to school, like going to online school, and like being in the calls like during the Zoom call was like part of it. And then like once,
Really? I realized that was a thing. I think I was there for that because it was just different time.
yeah, I wouldn't do it all the time, but sometimes I would. And then like, especially like junior year of high school, there would be a lot of days where it'd be like seeing people like start to join the VC because they were like an hour ahead of me, and then I get off of school and then join the call, and then we would just talk for like 6 hours straight, like every day, and it's like,
I remember that. It was a different time. And obviously now it's obviously a different thing. And I think we kind of discussed this a little bit. And we've also mentioned your split release with Orange, which is kind of nice to see like a little revival. Um, but it has a very different vibe. And we've also seen like, I mean, related but adjacent, I guess. KG's just stopped. I'm wondering, what does the future of Army look like?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do, a lot of things that I have planned, and it's just if I can get my school, personal, and music life all in balance, because that's been the biggest issue. Because I feel like I can never have all of them. Like something has to get shafted, and usually music is like the lowest priority, just because it's like my own
Yeah.
stuff that has nothing to do with anything else. So like, it's school gotta be first, and then my social life. Well, actually, oh, this is bad. Low-key, it's probably school, hidden driveway, social life, and then music. If I had to like,
That's so family.
I think
Yeah.
just because with hidden driveway, like it involves other people that aren't me, so it's like I want to make sure that
Mhm.
their stuff gets out on time and whatever. So
Yeah.
like sometimes I intentionally won't make plans with people so that I can edit videos, which is why I'm slowing down on them now and doing them a little more infrequently, so that I can
Yeah.
enjoy my college experience and not be in my room
Yeah.
editing all day. Um,
Because you only have it once as well.
yeah,
It's it's easy to forget that it goes by so quickly, and I'm really feeling that second year as well.
it's like we're gonna be juniors already. Like, how does that?
Scary. Yeah, I know. Because it's a 4-year course as well, so I forget you can actually say that about my course,
Mm-hmm.
but that's scary.
Because like
It's
we
to
were
think as well,
juniors in
like,
high school during Winx Club, and that's already like been four
yes,
years since
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that, which is crazy.
It's like it's really cool as well that like we're kind of in sync because I think our birthdays are only like a month apart or something. But it's also just like scary to see that like it changes so quickly as well.
And you don't really realize
Like
until it's happened. Like,
no, it's so scary. And I mean like all the I talk about like Terraria a lot, but those nights just like playing Terraria for like hours and stuff, right? Like that feels just as far back in time as it did 1 year ago as it does now. I don't know. It's just scary. Time flies when you're having fun.
yeah, and
But I respect
I
that.
think I definitely took those times for granted also because I didn't realize like I think there was a day where Jaden was in like a Wings Club call when it was like everyone in there, and he was like, you know, there will be a day where like this doesn't happen ever again, right? It was like he's right.
Mm.
I don't think we've hit that point yet, even though like it's never been like the full squad. I don't think that's happened in a long time.
Jaden's he's kind of absent at the minute, just a little bit. I'm waiting for the I'm waiting for the next episode of that stupid like web series to come out so we can go and watch it because they're always brilliant and like the call lasts forever and it's just like I don't want to leave because I know like I'll never see him again. The day that ends or goes bankrupt, like it's over.
Oh, for Digital Circus.
Yes, yeah, that's so sad as well because like for context, we started watching it as like a joke, and then we got like really into it, and like every time like a new one comes out, then like it's like a race to see who can say like there's a new episode out. We will watch it tonight, and it's like it's so funny. But I never see them otherwise. It's really sad. They always like they're always brilliant. They always like lead so naturally onto new things. Like we would. I think last time it was like a 6 hour call, and it went into like watching Jubilee for like a few hours. Like you know where it's like they have the button in the middle, and like it's like there's like a period of time like before where they can't press the button, and then they can, and one of them will just like jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was we were just watching that, and it was like oh I actually really like this guy. Like can we find all the videos that Jubilee has ever released that contains this one person? It was kind of stalker behavior, but it was like I don't know. But he's right. It will end one day, which is really sad to think about. But I think I like to convince myself that it won't end and it'll just change.
Yeah, I think it's just changed. 'Cause I still make an effort to like talk to everyone
Mhm.
from Wings Club, even if it's not like the same amount as it was. Like even though like doing the interviews has kind of been like a way to do that. Like when I did 99s,
Yeah.
like I hadn't talked to her like properly in like probably like a year or so. Like we still talk, but like
Yeah.
not like that. And it's like me and her used to
No.
call like every day for like hours and hours and hours, like over the summer.
Yeah. It just changes. That's really weird to think about as well. Like I haven't spoken to Carter in ages. And it's like it's weird to speak to him and like remember like we actually know each other quite well. Um but then also we never talk to each other. It's weird. But it's nice that it's just changed. It's nice that it just hasn't ended.
Yeah, and like I even though like Carlo is not like really online anymore, I still like go out of my way to like text him and like check up on him because he did the same thing for me too.
Yeah.
And it's like even though it's not like how it
Yeah.
was, that doesn't mean you can't still do some of the same things that you did before.
That's really nice. I really like that way of thinking about it. I need to do that actually. I need to stay in contact with a lot of people. Yeah. It's kind of sad to get to that point and see like but it's also reassuring to see like, things just change and they don't just go away
Hmm.
because we're such good friends that we wouldn't want to leave things,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. It's kind of cool. So that's a nice thing, I guess, about the future of AAMU. But
Well, actually, to answer your
I'm also
to actually
interested. Do you have
answer
any
the question
projects?
though, because I didn't. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess that's part of.
What's
That's what I was gonna say. So ask what
yeah,
you
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say.
But I was gonna ask about like, what do you have planned? Is there anything that like apart from Drillgaze that's like waiting to be released?
As of waiting to be released, no. But there are
Or like planned,
things I'd like to
even?
make for this year. I'm trying to realize it's probably not that feasible. But I wanted to like drop like 5 different EPs with different artists. So like the Cameron one would be one of them. And I'll just say it, me and you have been talking about doing something together, which I think would be super cool and awesome.
Yeah.
It's just finding the
I,
right
I need to get
ideas
around to
that
it.
sound good.
It is
Cause like
because it'll be generational when it drops, like trust. But
yeah,
I just want to get it right. and you do as well.
Yeah, so I don't want to like force anything with that, but I want that to come out this year, hopefully. And then me and
Yeah,
Young Rap Poison are for sure gonna do something this year as well. Cause like out of all the artists I work with, like he's definitely like the most frequent collaborator probably. Like
yeah,
outside of Cameron, I guess Cameron doesn't count because it's kind of cheating. But like besides Cameron, like I think he's definitely the person I work with like the most often.
yeah.
And like I feel like
Get
our
that.
styles
That makes
also
sense.
kind of clash in a cool way because a lot of his music is very like dark, like
They
sonically.
complement each other though.
Yeah.
Like the EP works, right? And it's like I guess like opposites attract, but it's nice because I don't know, it feels really natural. Like when I listen to all the tracks, I feel like you tried a lot
Hmm.
of stuff and it all like it flowed. Like the issues was not your styles clashing at all. That was never something that like came up.
Hmm. Yeah. So me and Andrew are definitely gonna do something together. We actually, as when we're recording this, I have a song that he's releasing soon. This comes out
Mhm.
on March 27th, so this will already be out when this comes out.
Mark the date. Mark the
But
date.
it's produced by me and Bag, and it was a beat that we made when we met up in real
Yeah.
life like a year ago. So I'm glad that someone's finally
Oh,
using that beat because I really like that beat and no one's hopped on it. So I'm glad that's finally gonna come out.
it's really cool. I'm excited for that actually. And actually, I forgot to mention, I was going to mention this earlier when I was talking about collaborations. I just remembered you produced a track for a hype recently who's doing a crazy run of like one album
Or
a
well,
month, I
well,
believe.
I did send him a bunch of beats, but I've only featured
Yeah.
on a song, so I haven't produced for any of them yet.
Oh, really?
Or
Oh, well, I guess there's your voice on the start.
yeah.
And I mean, that's such an awesome tag, actually. I want him to use that once more. But that's so cool. And you also had your EP with A Hype that you produced. Yeah, I just want to mention, yeah, you worked with A-Hype in the past, which is big because I feel like A-Hype is the future. Like, give it a year or 2 years and he will blow up.
I'm surprised it hasn't because I feel like he has so many little moments where it could be like a big thing,
He
but it
does.
doesn't leave the Twitter music like space usually.
Scene. Well, that might be a good thing, I guess, because I feel like the people who listen to A-Hype get him and understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know him enough to realize what a nice person he is. And I feel like if he had like a song that went viral, I don't think people would know what to do. Like in the way that when Fragged Out by Woke came out, like it's a mind-blowing song, right? But then like people heard it and like this is awful because they don't understand it and they're not like willing to explore like that new idea. And I just saw people like clowning on it. Or like even I don't know if you've got this yet, right? But there's that one Kevin McLeod song which someone's rapping over it like don't touch my pizza, don't touch my jelly, and it's like people are hating that, right? Um, and I just don't think it's that bad, right? So I'm kind of scared for like A Hype to like leave that scene as well because like they've been working with some crazy people as well,
Mm-hmm.
like recently. Like almost everyone knows A Hype and has worked with him, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, it has to go.
Have you? I
I
don't.
sent him for his album thing that he's doing. I made a cover art
Mhm.
for him that I'm hoping he uses, and then I sent him a Google Drive folder that had every unused beat that I've ever made. So
Really?
I'm hoping he does something with at least one of those. Cause like
I'm
I've
sure
been,
it will actually.
cause have you seen like the recent thing he's been doing where he's been dropping imaginary albums and I was doing hey albums.
What's an imaginary album?
Wait, you don't know about this? Um,
No, I don't know what the imaginary albums.
it's just
Like they
like,
don't exist.
well, no, they do exist. But you have to like think about it.
What does that mean?
Well, like you have to picture like how the album sounds, which I think is a pretty revolutionary idea.
That's that is a cool idea actually. What? So hang on, like it's like everything apart from the music exists.
Well, there's a cover for it.
Oh, like is that songs? Is that features?
Well, yeah, of course, but you have to like think about it.
But it's like hypothetical.
Well, no, they're real.
They do exist. What like they're out?
Well, yeah. Well,
Like you can listen to them.
you have to like picture like how they sound. But here always two of those albums though.
That's kind of cool though. Like that could be the future. I feel like there's so many artists who would like imagine if Carlo dropped an imaginary album. Imagine if Carti dropped an imaginary album. That would be life changing as well.
You know what though? Because me and Cameron were talking about it, and it kind of was a smart idea because it had us thinking about like all the crazy stuff A Hype could do. Because like we were thinking of like the most like insane extreme stuff, and like we kind of like the albums that we were thinking of in our head. So I think it was a good move.
That's fair. That's fair. That's so like I didn't realize that was a thing. I don't know. That's so cool. I'm gonna have to find out one song where like it's the Kevin MacLeod song because I feel really silly that like only I have an idea of what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And
I
also
don't.
you're editing this video for me for my channel. So
Yeah.
it would be helpful if I gave you the reference. I'll sort it out later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about actually.
Uh, actually, wait, no, I
Okay.
did remember what I wanted to say. In terms of what's next, definitely more like songs with vocals in the future. Just because I love producing for other artists, but I'd like to be my own artist, like also. And like, I know that you were talking about it in Bappy's most recent interview
I was.
when they were talking about
Yeah.
stuff that you put out, but they were saying like, well, maybe if you dropped an album, you could perform with the next show or something. It's like that would be so cool. But currently, I have no music
You should do that.
to perform, so I want to do more vocal stuff so that I could do that if the opportunity arises.
That's respect because you've done a DJ set as well. I
Yeah.
believe. How did that go? I was gonna ask about this. I completely forgot.
It was fun. I was really stiff. I think I was telling you because I kind of forgot that like stage presence is part of it, and I was feeling kind of like self conscious about like how I look during it. And it's like you gotta just like put your everything into it. And I don't think I was doing that.
I really struggle with that.
But I still had fun.
I feel like it comes with practice though. And it's like when I did mine as well, I didn't have headphones. So it was like a completely different experience. It was like I was hyper aware of like the vibe in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So but that's good. It would be I would pop out to a show whenever it was, wherever it was. I'd actually really like to see that.
We should all go
That's
to
cool.
Australia and hang out at Stereo Center. I think it's what we should do.
We should. Yeah, actually no that would actually be brilliant. Because it's equally far for everyone. Just as inconvenient and expensive. I would like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the most fair. That's the most fair thing to do.
That is fair. I know, because I don't like that all the communion stuff is in New York, because it's obviously a bit of a pain for me.
What's the
So it'd be nice-
closest
it'd be
like
nice
in
people
between
to
the
European
UK and the US? Actually, I guess New York is probably
Bermuda.
well, because if I'm here and you're here, like wouldn't
Yeah.
New York kind of be like the middle point of that?
I think less than the middle. Like, I don't know, because I've got a world map in my room somewhere. I could just look at that or Google Maps. But I swear, like the Atlantic Ocean is huge. So like, the midpoint between like you and me is like the Azores, I think.
I mean, you can't go on like an
So like
island somewhere.
so far, like Madeira or something. So like, yeah, far.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that would go crazy as well. Or like, yeah, Bermuda, like fly out into the triangle. That would go crazy. Like, mark my words, that will happen one day. Communion like 50 or something.
Communion 50.
It will be in Bermuda. Communion 50, yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there. So, in addition to sounding very, very colorful, I also would just, if I was going to describe your music to anyone, I would say it is very dreamlike. The atmosphere that you create is very luscious. It's very like expansive. You know, a lot of music sounds like very forwards and like it's focused, whereas yours kind of just like it does its own thing and it exists in like its own little atmosphere. So, because one of the words I'd use is dreamlike, and I believe when you interviewed me, you asked about some weird dreams that I've had. I want to ask you the exact same thing, and you touched upon this a little bit in my interview, namely the Harry Potter iPod dream. And I was wondering, what are the bizarre things has your mind concocted in your dreams?
Okay. I'm
Do you want to
trying.
explain what the Harry Potter iPod dream is briefly,
I'll go
if you
over.
can
I'll
remember
go
it?
over it briefly. Um, basically, when I was in like third grade, I was listening to like all the Harry Potter books on audio on my iPod. You know, as Harry Potter iPod dream suggests. And I really didn't want to miss the end of the book because I was on the seventh book and like the last couple chapters. So I was trying to stay awake, but I fell asleep. But thankfully, in my dream, I had my iPod like permanently attached to my body. I couldn't take it off, which that part was kind of scary. But I could hear like the words of the audiobook in my dream. And like I had the actual like physical books too. So I checked afterwards when I woke up and it was like actually what was like happening in the book. So because of that I didn't miss anything.
Damn. Did you go through the whole thing?
Like that,
Did you get to the end?
yeah, I did.
That must have been terrifying as well, because wasn't it the last one?
Yeah.
That must be like horrifying to be like trapped in a dream with. I would actually hate
Well,
that.
no, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like I can still hear the book.
But like in my mind, like I feel like if I was hearing those words, I would have to like create the image in my dream. And like book 7 is kind of dark.
I don't know. From what I remember, I was kind of processing the words and not really picturing anything. But still
Oh,
like
like you were literally just like listen to the audiobook but in your dream, and that
yeah.
was it.
But
That's kind of scary though.
no, it was I'm trying to think how I can like describe it. Like have you played Earthbound before?
No, but I should because everyone's telling me I should.
Okay, but like towards the end of the game, I haven't finished it either, but from what I'm like I know there's a part of the end of the game you kind of go through like all the other areas you've been in before, just kind of talk to all the locals and stuff. And it's this weird like kind of like afterlife thing almost, but
Oh, look at the end of Undertale as well. Like
kind of
when you revisit everyone.
yeah, kind of like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that. But I was just walking around like literally all the places that I knew in my life. So I think I was at my grandparents' house. And I was like at my school, and like I was in third grade, so there weren't that many places I could go to. But I was just walking around all the places that
Yeah.
I knew, listening to my audiobook, and I was just chilling.
That's kind of cool actually. I'm kind of jealous actually, you know. And obviously that's probably the most memorable dream you've had. But are there any other that come to mind?
Uh, one that came to mind, I think, because I'm talking to you right now, that I think I told you about from like a few years ago, was sometimes do you ever like dream about music that doesn't exist?
No,
Okay,
not really.
well, in mine, I was listening to the Internet album, the original one, and
Really?
we got to Home Garage, which is the song that's on A Full Other Year, but it was originally made for the Internet album, and you were like
Yep.
singing on it, and it was like the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard. And this before you were doing
Damn.
any vocals at all. And I was like, why does he not do this more often? What the heck? Because it was that like brief moment where like you don't realize it's a dream yet. Like when you wake up.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I never do that. I never realize it's a dream,
When,
to be honest.
no, not like when you're in the dream, but like when you wake up and you think it's real at first, and you remember. Or
Oh,
like it'll be like
that's
later in the
different.
day and you think about it, and then you're like, oh, that didn't happen.
I don't think I get that often. Maybe it's just you.
Maybe.
That's kind of interesting though. Maybe you're alone and like no one else is like you. That's cool though.
I had a similar one
Damn. Do
recently
you tend to
where
remember them?
I was playing. I forgot. Well, I was playing "By Your Side" for my dad in my dream. Except the vocals were like all really offbeat, and like the vocal takes were way worse. I was like, oh no, oh no.
How do you remember the music in your dream? I can't do that. Is that common?
I don't know. I was talking to Elijah about it because I asked him if he ever hears music that doesn't exist in his dreams. He's like, no, but I think every now and then I dream about music. I don't remember it usually if it's like an original composition, but sometimes I make music in my dream.
What, like the process of making music, or like it just plays and like you've made it unconsciously?
Like unconsciously. I know there's one time where I was playing like guitar in my dream, and this is before I knew how
Hmm.
to play guitar. Like I still can't really play guitar, but like I didn't even have like the concept of it at the time. But I was playing something like
Yeah,
crazy somehow, even though like I didn't really know what I was doing, but it sounded cool.
yeah. Because you play guitar now, right?
Yeah,
Good.
not at a
Okay. No,
high level though.
No, me neither. I've got mine in the corner of the room, like there.
Yeah, no, mine's
You
mine's
can't see it.
right there.
I need to learn it really. It'd be nice to pick up a new instrument.
It would be. Plus, like all my friends that know guitar can do so much like cool stuff with it, and it's just like a convenient
Yeah,
instrument to
mine
know
too.
because like everyone has one, so
Yeah,
it's like good to
that
know.
like piano, but I've already won on that front, so it's like it's kind of lame almost.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't feel special. Whereas like with a guitar, I feel like it's more impressive.
But I feel like
But
if
I
you play
don't know.
guitar though, then you want to learn piano. Like I think the grass is
Yeah,
always
but
greener.
you don't really. And you can do less with a piano, really.
Well,
Or it depends what you want to
no,
make. Like for me,
I think it's a good skill to have though, because you can play any MIDI instrument like really well.
yeah,
Because with guitar, you only have that skill set for like guitar and like bass, and I guess other string instruments. So that is kind of useful, but like I don't know.
yeah, that is true. And I suppose you can play bass as well, like if you know guitar. So I don't know. It kind of works. It's convenient,
Yeah, I'm trying to
which
think
is
if
true.
there's
It's
like
nice.
any other dreams I've had that are like memorable for me like right now that I haven't said in a video before.
Yes, because hypothetically you would ask this often.
Yeah, not
That's
too
true.
often though. Not too often. I'd hope I'd space them out a little bit. Uh,
Have you ever like? I mean, do you often have nightmares? Because I don't anymore. But some people like only have nightmares. I'm interested like what your share of like dreams to nightmares is.
definitely more dreams than nightmares, but like my nightmares are like usually like anxiety dreams. Like it's not like something's chasing me.
Oh,
It's like, oh, I forgot to turn in my homework, dude. Or like, oh,
oh, like you've messed up.
oh, I had one recently. This is a funny one. I was with Isaacs in my dream, and I was trying to go to my class, which this is a professor that like I respect a lot, but I'm like, so I don't want to like disappoint him if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And he
I
hates
get
when
that.
people like skip his class and don't say anything. So me and Isaac were
Yeah.
trying to go to my class, but we were in like a jungle for some reason, and we started climbing these trees because there was like a my class was behind this large like chain link fence, and we got to the top of the trees, and then these guards were like, get down from there, and we're like just getting
That's
like
so odd.
yelling at us, and I'm like, I have to go to class, dude. And somehow I forgot how, but I managed to ditch Isaac somehow, not intentionally. I had to get to class. But I somehow like got into the classroom through like the ceiling. But at this point, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna show up late, I might as well not show up at all. And I had to like sneak my way out of
Bro,
the classroom once I was already in there. And like,
that's so that's so odd.
and I think my professor like saw me as I was leaving, and I like booked it. That's a dream I had recently. That's like I guess kind of a
That's so
nightmare.
bizarre. I guess so. I mean, it's not like yeah, no, I guess it is a nightmare. I feel like a lot of people get those, and that's usually what they say would be a nightmare. I mean, like it's only really different, I guess, if you have like a big fear. Like, but even then, like I'm really scared of heights and I've never had like a height dream. Um, I've had like a few dreams where my teeth fall out in dreams,
Mm.
but it's never like a bad thing. It's just like a thing that happens. So there goes my front teeth. And then just like in the dream, I'll just like check if it's there. So it's not there. Great. But it's just like a normal thing that happens.
No, I think
Have
I
you had
freaked out when it happens in my
what?
dreams.
It's just normal for me. I'm just like, oh well.
I don't know, because I think my teeth have always been like a mild insecurity. So then it coming out is like, ugh, but it's not like a thing I think about a lot or anything.
That's fair. I mean, maybe it's dependent on like when your teeth came out as a child. Because I remember mine were like always really like, um, I never used to wiggle my teeth like when they were just starting to get wobbly.
Mm-hmm.
So what would happen is I'd like bite down on like some relatively normal food. I'd feel a crunch, right? My tooth will have shattered into like four, three,
Oh.
maybe fragments. And then they would all wobble out individually, but the new tooth would be fully formed underneath, or like maybe like 90% there. So it was really weird. So I never had like, nice experiences like with my teeth falling out. Maybe it's related to that. Who knows? But then you look at like Dream Dictionary, and apparently it's like a period of change or of transformation.
Aren't we always changing and transforming though? Like I'd hope so.
I guess.
I wouldn't want to be
I guess,
stagnant.
yeah. That's true, but maybe teeth dreams are good. Maybe like if you're not having teeth dreams, like you're doing something wrong. Maybe not
Maybe.
actually. No, not good. Maybe. Who knows? Who can say?
The other like major nightmare dreams I've had, which I don't have any more thankfully, but they were like car accident related. But it would always be
Oh,
like me driving my car, and like that started happening because I got into a car accident, which makes sense, I guess. But like I'd be driving, and then suddenly like I just can't control the car properly, for like various reasons. Like I've had somewhere like the gas was actually like, or no, the brake was actually the gas pedal or something. So
oh,
I've had that in a dream. I had one where I was suddenly like driving in third person, like from a bird's eye view. So
like GTA kind of thing.
yeah, like that. There was one where the gas was accelerating like way more than it should have, and I was in a parking lot. I was trying to just like not hit anything
Oh,
as hard as I could.
that's scary actually. I have that fear though.
Hmm.
That's kind of I've had those a few times, but only like a handful, and it'll be like it's always that I can't steer properly, or the car doesn't ever travel in a straight line, and I can steer, but the car doesn't ever want to go in a straight line,
Hmm.
and like will always naturally like wobble, and I don't know, I don't know. That's scary though. Did you have them like before you learned to drive?
No, they were only after my accident for like
Oh, how long ago was that?
this is
I remember when that
it
happened.
was it was the day after my prom, which is also I think it was 201's 1 year anniversary date. That's how I remember it.
Brilliant. What, so like 201's just the car crash album for you?
Well, no, I was listening to Stuntman by Tyler the Creator. Like right when the beat dropped, like I hit the other car because that was the whole thing too. So I try not to think about it too much, but it made me scared of driving for a while. So for like a good like
Yeah,
half a year, I'd have those dreams a lot, but I haven't had any in a long
that's fun.
time.
Yeah, that's good. I haven't driven in a hot minute. I'm trying to get back into it and just force myself out.
Well, you don't
But
have to as
it's
much over there. I feel
scary.
like 'cause we have like public transit where you're at college.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, I'm so lucky that like my university's so walkable. Like nothing I need is more than a 15, maybe even 20-minute walk away. It's
Mm-hmm.
brilliant. But it means that I just forget how to drive, or like it's there and it's like a subconscious thing. But I always go in the car and I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do. That's so scary. Well, in that case, as the episode comes to a close, it's been a good one. It's been a very long one actually.
Yeah, it
This
has
has gone
been.
on for way longer than I expected, which is great. Um, but I was wondering, is there anyone that you want to give a final shout out to?
There are actually there's quite a lot of people. So first and foremost, all my Wings Club friends. So shout out former and present. So like Nick, Carter, LG, Carlo, you, Jaden, Orange, Gwen, Devin, 99, Bag. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. Oh, Ian.
Ian, yeah, yeah,
Shout out Ian Penny.
yes, yeah.
Uh, shout
Shout out Ian
out
Penny.
Elijah V. Also, I wish I had talked about him more in this, cause like he helps me with like literally all
Hey,
my
we still have
mixes
time.
on like everything. So like my stuff would
Yeah,
not sound the way it does without him. So very big thank you to him. Also got to shout out, Young Rap Poison, Mercy in the Well, Juno, so all those people. I mean, I feel like I could go on forever if I really wanted to, but like, shout out like Bappy,
you
Ruby,
can.
Noah,
Yeah.
Ahmed. Uh, shout out Long Live Mir. He sent me back something that I produced for him earlier, so that was really cool to hear. Shout out him. Shout out Cameron. I think I think right now that's my conclusive list of shout outs.
That's actually I love that segment. I don't think you missed anyone, but you could go on forever. I love that segment because like everyone just smiles as soon as they do it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's lovely to see. I remember last episode of my radio show. Then like the last 5 minutes, I just like listed everyone I was thankful for. And it was really nice because I was smiling the whole way through. And I don't know. I think we should like normalize like you know, at like functions and stuff. We should all just name things we're thankful for fun.
I mean, we
Because
have a whole
it is
holiday for that over
the
here,
hack.
but
Ah, that's true. And we celebrate it for some reason in November. Like, I think it's because we have a lot of international students. But we had like a Thanksgiving meal, and we had like, I think it was pumpkin pie this year, but it was pecan pie the last. And this year was much better. I much prefer pumpkin pie.
mhm.
And we had like mac and cheese and sweet potatoes and turkey. And like, but that was it. Like, there was nothing else. And then they also had like, the starter was kind of like, I think it was just like butternut squash soup, and it was kind of like a wild card. And it wasn't nice either. But it was so like weird to see them like do it. And it was so like, it was so clearly not like an American thing, because when they did the sweet potatoes, like it's a thing, right, to like bake them under marshmallows, right? Like it wasn't like that at all. Like I think they were just so weirded out by it. They just did like boiled sweet potato, and that was it. It was kind of miserable because it was just boiled sweet potato, but it was also like it wasn't weird.
Mhm.
And it was those two sides as well. There wasn't any like of the other iconic sides. There was no cranberry sauce, which always looks disgusting. Like when I see like people opening it, it's like the can, and they hold it like that, and it just like galoops out. But I think you're right. I think we should do Thanksgiving because it'd be nice to just like list things we're thankful for. A smile holiday would be really cool.
I mean, you did
I
it
would
too for
like
like
that.
tortoise. You just have that list. It's on your website too. So like,
I do. Yes, that's true. I loved writing that, and I should probably update it because I feel there's a lot more people as well to add.
mhm.
But it is like, I don't know. If you ever want to like feel happy about something, then it is like the instant hack to like feeling happy. Just thinking about everything that you're grateful for and everything you're thankful for. So I always like when I do that section, yes me in my interviews. So
Mhm.
that's cool. And I actually had one more question as well. It's obviously been a very, very special episode with a very special guest. What's one question you wish I'd asked, and what's the answer?
I guess like in music influences that didn't come up like at all really.
Uh, I was kind of hinting at it. Like, I want to talk about in the collectives a bit. Like, who's influenced you the most? But I guess I got forgotten about.
Yeah. If I had to say like,
Talk about it.
if I had to say artist like really quick, so this doesn't drag on any longer than it already has, because I like
That's
I
true.
really don't want the longest
It's gone
interview
so
on Hidden
long.
Driveway to be my own interview. That'd be so like
That'd be meta, though. I think that'd be quite
it
funny.
would be, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't sit right with me if it did. Um,
That's fair. That's fair.
but I would say like I feel like a lot of these are also like more in like vibe than like my actual production. But like New Job is like Porter Robinson and like Pasteboard low key. Like I feel like all the very just like happy emotion like Friend Zone or like Orange Cake Mix. Like even though my music doesn't sound like any of that stuff, I think like the energy and like feeling I get from those is like a big influence. But like I think my biggest influences are really just like my friends, seeing what they do. So like
That's so nice, actually.
I'll take like those feelings like yeah, but then I'll watch my friends make music and be like, I want to do a thing like that. So then I'll try making music like Carlo or like you or like Chloe or like yeah. So that'd probably be my
I
like
mean,
quick little list.
it's really nice to like be forced to do that when like I've been really enjoying the beat battles we've been doing with Bappy. Because they're just awesome, and they force you to like be inspired by other people and try new things. There was an inspiration. There's also an artist that you didn't include who I feel is very, very influential to what you're doing now. Lunaret, you haven't
Oh,
mentioned.
true. Yeah. Yeah, that falls under that like
Because
I don't produce like them, but the feeling I get from Lunar music is so. Oh, you're right. Actually, yeah, because
that one
like
song,
I Swim Yento is my favorite song ever. How did I not think of that? Yeah, you're right.
it's so brilliant. It's actually awesome as well. Like I always put it on, and it's just like amazing.
No, like that's
Um,
the definition of
and
like Curious George music. I think.
you've used this to describe something before, but I've never watched Curious George, so I don't know what that means.
Like it just makes sense. Like that's Curious George music.
Actually, no, because it wasn't the film where they had like the soundtrack and it was like full of like, or is it the like the show?
I'm talking about
See,
the
I'm talking about the
film.
show,
I
but I know there's
think
also a movie.
because they had like the Upside
Damn.
Down song in it.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking about. I remember the conversation actually. Yeah, that's such a good descriptor actually. Curious George music, and also like I feel it fits him because he's curious and like
Hmm.
he's also like I don't know. I feel like he would have a lot of friends.
I don't remember much about it, but I'm actually. Does he have friends? I'm trying to think. I can't think of anyone he's ever talked to besides like
I don't
the
think
man
he
with the
does
yellow
have friends,
hat.
right? But like I would want to be friends with Curious George. You know,
I would too.
like I just think he's awesome. Um, no, I would definitely want to be his friend, and I feel like it'd be so easy. Like he goes out like he escapes, right? Is that not like his whole thing? Like he escapes his little apartment. And he like makes friends with everyone inside New York City. I think. Like surely he has to have loads of friends, and he's kind to everyone. I'm assuming. Everyone's, he should be an inspiration to everyone. I think.
Yeah,
In that regard,
I aspire to be
you
like
know.
Curious George.
Shout out Curious George.
That's my last shout out.
Yeah. Shout out Curious George. Okay. Well, shout out all those people that we were talking about before Curious George. And shout out Amu. Um, if you want to check out his stuff, all the links are down below in the description. I think they are for most videos. I could be wrong, but you should check them out anyway. As well, we've got the Hidden Driveway playlist on SoundCloud and Spotify. I'm going to be picking 3 of my favorite songs that he's done and adding them to those. And finally, is there anything else you'd like to ask about or talk about?
I'll just say thank you for doing this, because when we originally brought up the idea of doing like an Amu interview, it was gonna be like me recording both ends the entire time, which would have just been really annoying to record, but also just sad and lonely.
Yeah.
And that's not like, someone messaged me recently and told me that like Hidden Driveway interviews feel like a family gathering almost, and I really like that description of it. I feel like doing it with myself just kind of
True.
defeats like the whole like spirit of like that I try to accomplish with these. So I really enjoy getting to
It's
talk
true.
to my very good friend James during this instead of
Thank you.
myself in post the whole time.
That's true. And I can't remember what you were going to do originally.
Uh,
You were going to interview Tyron the rapper.
yeah, that was my original plan, but then someone else did it first, and that's a really good video, also. But then I don't know, the guy behind Tyron the Rapper. He said he was down, but I could tell he wasn't super enthusiastic about it, so just ended up not going with that.
That's fair. That's fair. And if the interview's already out, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm James. I've done this interview for once. Um, I forgot the rest. This has been the Hidden Driveway Show. Um, and yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.